All right, we're on live. Yay!
Woo! This is number big old 40.
Yeah, it is. That's right. It's about to hit a midlife crisis. The parents have to buy a show and then fuck some 20-year-old show. Wait,
I don't know. There might be some 20-year-old shows that look mighty fine.
Yeah.
All right. Show is getting ready to buy a Corvette convertible, dude.
Yeah. That's convertible.
All right, for those who don't know us, I'm Engelhardt. Sitting next to me is Skittles McStappy Pants, and sitting on the other universe across from us on their computer is Daytwalk.
Hello.
All right, type it in my last little thing. New live pictures. All right, there we go.
All right, so let's get to it.
Yeah.
Diligence to let people know because we're really good at advertising.
It's just throwing it at them as hard as we can.
Absolutely.
That's the best form of advertisement. You just
every day, all day.
There you go.
Oh, whoops. One of the participants. Oh, look, it's just us. What a shock.
Me, myself, and I.
All right, there we go. Got the chat line up and running. And
this is really something we should leave for not the beginning parts. This is like the whole grabbing part, right?
I don't know how I can set it up. I don't know how I can set it up so that I can look at everything and load the chat before I start the hangout. Because I have no idea how this works. In all reality, we're lucky every week that this actually works.
But lucky that we're even here.
Yeah, these people should just be grateful that we've graced them with our presence.
Yeah. Someday, dude, people will figure out how great we are, dude.
Yeah, like 1,000 years, they'll be like, I'm listening to this retro show from the internet. That's fucking weird, man.
If people would have tuned in, fucking peace on earth, man. What the fuck?
What's wrong with them? Yeah, we would have solved global warming, world peace, hunger.
What is it? Canada just enacted a bill to take kids away from parents if the parents don't want them to start like transgender hormone therapy when they're like, under like 10.
Jesus, dude.
Some crazy shit, man. Try that shit in the U.S. That's why we have guns.
You're gonna have me do what now?
Well, you can't be good for a kid under the age of like 18. Probably not even good for a kid under the age of 25, really. Just start taking all the hormones and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you should wait until they're an adult before you allow them to start messing around with that kind of thing.
It's tough because it's probably attached to an emotional state.
Well, it is, but
and so it's like
it's medically unsafe.
Oh yeah,
that's what my point is. I'm not talking about how people feel. I'm like, hey, look, man, that's just dangerous. You can cause some irreparable harm.
Yeah, and who the fuck really knows who they are at that age, dude? Like, there's, there could be some dudes that are like, well, I'm effeminate. I guess I'm supposed to be a chick. And there's plenty of, well, not plenty, but we've all known effeminate guys that aren't gay and that aren't fucking transsexual.
I thought I was a puppy at certain parts of my life when I was that young, like under 10.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure at some point I identified as a dog, and sometimes with a fireman, sometimes as an astronaut, and all sorts of shit. I think encourage kids to do whatever they want, like wear shitty, like crazy ass clothes and stuff. Like I saw some kid in the grocery store parking lot wearing like a blanket as a cape and like proudly carrying around a stick like some sort of scepter.
Nice.
Like,
yeah, nothing wrong with that.
That's what you call a good childhood.
Yeah, it's a good parent where they're like, it's not hurting anything. She's in her pajamas with a blanket cape and a stick. She's not hitting people. More winning.
She's not screaming. She's not asking for stuff. Can't complain.
But if there were some kind of fucking royalty hormones that they could take at that age, it probably wouldn't be such a good idea,
Yeah,
like hormones taken straight from the king and queen.
Well, because on the off chance they're not transgender, then you just took away their puberty.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I get
that's like
the point.
Gymnasts. You didn't know that? Gymnasts usually don't go through puberty until they stop being gymnasts, professional ones. Their body fat percentage is so low that the body just won't kick it over into puberty.
Wow. It's like, no way can you get pregnant if you're this skinny. So it just never starts.
I don't know if they can get pregnant or not, but I know that the main part of like people like growing boobs and like having a period don't start.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, I heard back in the good old East Germany days, they would actually fucking deliberately impregnate the fucking gymnast for some reason, and then like abort the fetuses.
Wait, deliberately?
Yeah.
Is that good?
Oh shit! Do I have something
Sorry,
on?
we're adjusting his volume, and I'm wearing a wireless headphones. He's wearing wired headphones. So when we're just like randomly like not talking, it's because we're like, okay, just volume. Make sure this is all set up the first time. Right?
Yeah. All right. No, I thought I forgot to turn down the sound because I was hearing the echo too. I'm like, hey.
No, he's the worst roadie ever, and so I'm like trying to do it in stealth, and so he's like, "Is that good? Are you okay now?"
Yeah. Last time I was too low. Now I'm too high.
Get back there in your hole.
Jesus Christ. Notifications on Chrome a little late. Unholy Mole streamed yesterday, by the way, guys. So if we'd like to go and check that out, now we know.
Oh, I'm glad to know.
Oh goddamn. Let's see here. I had a couple of good articles. Let's see. Where do I want to start? Because here's a good business fucking funny. Oh wait, I got a message on Twitter. Maybe somebody wants to join us. Or somebody's pissed at me and I'm about to get banned again. I don't know.
There's always that.
Okay. Here we go. So this I saw and I was just like, this is fucking classic. So Kenyan official says male lions who had sex must have seen gay men behaving badly and should be separated.
Wow.
They've been inspired by seeing gay men and they should receive therapy.
That's the only way that lions would learn that kind of thing. I mean, that behavior is clearly given.
Yeah, so the animals were photographed after one met the other in a secluded bush area of the Masai Mara Game Reserve in the southwest of the African country. Yeah, this is Kenya, in case I forgot to say that.
So were they like spying through a window and they saw two dudes fucking, or were there two dudes fucking out in the bush?
You know, I don't know what the standard is in Kenya. I really don't. Are they like really into outdoor sex? Or are they into indoor sex? Hard to tell. Yeah. I'm not going to Google that shit. But
yeah.
I thought for a second about doing it, but I just decided not to.
No. Your search history is weird enough, I'm sure.
Yeah, you're bordering on the illegal line there. Well, let's not push you over, buddy.
No, that's what incognito tags are for.
Oh, I don't know if I can put this song over the thing. So there's this song on YouTube you can find. Feel free to search it if you're watching this later. It's called "I Really Miss My Nigga," and I want that to be played at my funeral. That is me all over.
Yeah. All right, you're not planning anything, are you? We don't need to do with any kind of like 5150 on you.
Well done in advance. Like "I Miss My Nigga" is the song they need to play at my funeral.
No. All right, just making sure, buddy.
Just in case, shit happens. Whatever, man. So this guy actually wants the animals to get counseling.
Now I just imagine a lion just laying on like a long couch with some guy just sitting there. Like, how do you counsel a lion? Like, how do you do it?
Well, here's his statement. Let me read his statement out. It's kind of a long one, but I want to get the whole thing in here. He said, "We do not regulate animals, but this is a first and interesting to hear that there are two male lions in love. Some research needs to be done. And also, I wish I can get the bio to confirm the two lions are actually males because it is not normal. Yeah, that these animals need counseling because probably they have been influenced by gays who have gone to the national parks and behaved badly."
Yeah, one of the lions might have been trapped, dude.
Yeah, my guess is it happens just as like a dominance behavior. I think wolves do it, sort of like horses and cows.
Dolphins. Did you say dolphins?
Yeah. Dolphins do it too. Wouldn't surprise me.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
Oh, it could be demonic, he says. It wasn't popular, or it is demonic, because the animals do not watch movies. Is he watching a lot of gay porn, and this is just his way of saying, hey guys, I kind of like gay porn?
Yeah.
Right. I really got to get into this gay lion fucking thing. I really got to investigate it.
I mean, I guess
maybe he can't get a hold of any gay porn, so he's like, hey, I'm going to watch these gay lions fuck.
He just watches lions way too much. He's like, there's got to be something interesting here. Something I can really, like, you know, get into. And so it's like, oh, well, two male lions fucking. That sounds pretty on point.
How do you not
Close enough.
How do you not know that's two male lions? Did either of those lions look remotely female? I mean, are female lions taken to growing manes?
Yeah, that's weird.
It's just, you know, it seems like a given. He was like, well, we need to make sure they're both males. It's like, well, come on. Oh, it looks like there's something.
Wait, did you retweet David Duke?
William!
I retweeted David Duke. I forget what he said, but it was like something silly that he said. What did I retweet from David Duke? I have to find out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, remember, it's not necessarily an endorsement if he retweets something.
Yeah, I just retweet stuff that's interesting. It doesn't have to mean I agree with it, for sure. Let's see. Or sometimes I'm just trying to piss people off. Oh, he said, when saying it's okay to be white, you will be astonished at how fellow whites recoil, how they suddenly shrink back. They're going him now. Like, he had this really nice point, and he had to fucking go straight to the anti-Semitic bullshit. It's like, come on, man. You were so close to being a decent human for a second.
So close.
So close.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was so funny, just because like this whole like super fucking master race fucking chick on like in the picture with it's like, and then the Goyim No down in the corner. Oh man, we screen share that shit because that shit was fucking funny. All right, so here we go. Yeah, it's a super like fucking master race blonde chick under his little tweet, and it's okay to be white across it, and like kind of looks like somebody with some graphic design put that shit up there. The letter has shadowing, so they added depth to the lettering and shit.
They really put some time into the racism.
And then down in the bottom, well, it's not technically racism. I don't think it was Jewish a race. I mean, they're basically white people, right? It's mostly like a religion or like a culture. So it'd be like bigotry.
Fucked upness?
No, I think it's bigotry when you're intolerant of like a religion or culture. I don't know, man. I don't fucking spend that much time worrying about it. But the Goyim No. Oh man, David so close to being human.
Yeah. Oh yeah, on that thing. Apparently, for the thing I was talking about when they would actually impregnate the gymnasts, it's apparently called abortion doping. Like you get an additional blood flow or some shit. Apparently, it was like Russia and East Germany back in like the 70s and 80s, I guess, would actually impregnate the fucking female gymnasts to do that shit.
So were the female gymnasts okay, or was this just straight up fucking let's rape all our fucking athletes?
Yeah. Well, it says they were encouraged.
Oh, that's
to do it.
They just bring like a bunch of super hot.
Oh, ordered. No, it says ordered.
Happened to fall on somebody's dick.
It said that we're ordered to sleep with their coaches to get pregnant and then abort.
Oh, with their coaches. Okay, that was rape. If they brought in a bunch of like hunky fucking dudes and were like, "Look at Mr. Muscles," you know, like,
yeah,
girls.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, they weren't planning on keeping them. It wasn't like a breeding thing. It was a gaining athletic advantage thing, dude.
Well, I'm saying you could gain the athletic advantage and encourage them to sleep with like hot dudes, not their coaches.
Oh, gotcha. I gotcha. Yeah, so then it's not as rapey.
It's still creepy as fuck, but at least it's not just outright.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I want to fuck those girls. I'm teaching how to do flips.
Yeah, that's true. You can be like, hey, somebody's gonna have sex with you and gonna knock you up. If you want it to be me, that's fine. But it's gonna happen. So choose somebody if you want.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's down to do that for their country.
No.
No one loves their country that much, or if they do, they have
far
greater problem.
Right.
Nationalism isn't that big of a thing.
Yeah. Although you got to think the gymnasts are really young and impressionable. Like, they could easily be brainwashed into that shit because they're like, what, 13, 14 years old? That's even fucking worse, dude.
Yeah. Convince them that they like it, so like 20 years later when they have that emotional breakdown, it all comes back to haunt them.
Yeah. Pretty fucking
but I'm
nasty,
rightfully
dude.
uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, no, it talked about like women that were competing in the Olympics would have a kid, like, you know, they would almost plan it where they would have a kid like a month or two, like as close to when they were competing in the Olympics as possible. So they would have that additional edge or whatever.
Oh, that makes sense. So I'm guessing like the extra hormones in the blood.
Yeah.
They increase like the oxygenation of the blood.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe build up some muscle tissue or something. I don't know. That is kind of
no, but it said like I guess like women that had just had a kid like within a few months of competing in the Olympics set all kinds of world records or something.
Wow, that's a trip.
Yeah, fucking, that's insane, dude.
So how do you become a Russian coach? No. I'm asking for Akinaro, guys. Come on now. You know they'd never let an American do it, but a Spaniard might. We gotta watch out for our fans here, fellas.
Yeah, Stabby is asking for a friend.
Okay, does anybody here doubt Akinaro would love that job?
Right.
I don't wanna. I just don't wanna.
I don't want to say officially, but if I
timing on.
Yeah, Akinaro, if you have a time machine, you might want to go back to East Germany in like the 70s and 80s and become a gymnast coach, a female gymnast coach.
It was. He came in just as we finished talking about him too. That's hella funny.
Yeah. We channeled you. We're gonna like come join us. We're talking about you.
Oh yeah, and Trevor says Skittles McStabby Nazi. Let's see. Sum it up for short. German and Russian gymnast coaches in the 70s and 80s would fuck the gymnasts to get them pregnant and then have them have abortions so that they would be able to do better in the Olympics. And we were saying, like, that sounds like a job for Akinaro. So, you know, like, or I was saying that.
We were just laughing about it.
Yeah, because we're really terrible people. Nice, so.
Dude, we're off to a roaring start, man. This is a fucking awesome stream.
Yeah, who should we send a message to join us here? I'm thinking
One of us.
Yeah. Did you see Red Pill Black on Matt Christensen's stream, Stabby?
On whose stream?
On Matt Christensen.
Oh, I thought it was she was gonna be on what do you call it? David Rubin's stream.
Yeah, that's Tuesday, I guess. Yeah, no, they talked about it a lot because she kept saying, "No, I'm sorry, I gave Dave Rubin the exclusives. I can't talk about that. I can't go into detail."
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I would do it for my country and for my pleasure. Fucking said he would love that job.
Right. Not only not getting arrested, but actually getting paid and getting international prestige.
I feel like we're going left wing here at this point.
Wait, how is that left wing?
Not left wing, but you know, like the extremists.
Oh, okay.
Whenever I'm talking about left wing and right wing at this point, honestly, the majority of the ones I'm talking about are extremists. It's almost never like just the rational fucking.
Yeah. If you just go an extremist on it. Because that's fucked up.
I assume Stench saying. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That was it.
Oh, sorry. No, I was just reading the chat. I think you're saying Matt was fence sitting with Red Pill Black. Yeah. Although they challenge her a little. I mean, it's more than fucking Dave Rubin typically does. Dave Rubin doesn't do shit.
To be fair, if you want people to come on your show, especially when there's controversy, you kind of have to be at least somewhat polite. You can't be like, "Oh, show, you motherfucker."
Yeah, well, no, you can still ask a somewhat pointed question. Like, you can also point to like, "Hey, it's not me, but some people have been saying this. How do you respond to that?"
So this was Monday Matt's channel.
No, Matt Christensen. The Beauty and the Beta.
No,
he does it with Blonde and the Belly of the Beast. It's called Beauty and the Beta. The Beauty and the Beta stream.
No, if it's a smaller channel and they're actually like rational people, I might check it out.
Yeah, no, they're pretty good, man. Yeah, you never heard of Matt Christensen?
No.
Okay. Yeah, he's got almost 90,000 followers, dude. He's not that small.
Well, but I mean, he's not like part of the drama BS kind of stuff.
Yeah. No, he usually tries to stay out of the drama a little bit, I guess, or at least not jump on the shit like everyone else in the skeptic community did.
Aguinaro in the chat is just going off the deep end here. I don't know about that.
Oh, Jesus. Come on, dude.
The hounds in that direction anyways. Yeah.
We don't need to know the specifics, dude. We know too much already, to be honest with you.
Scaring us now. It's like, I'm wondering if he was in America instead of Spain, he'd be like, all right, I got to make some phone calls and make some reports.
Right. We're going to assume it's a cultural thing and leave it at that.
Well, he always reports us as terrorists, so it'd only be fair.
Right. Yeah.
It's reasonable.
And we haven't said hi to our NSA agent Smith in a while.
Right.
So, shout out to NSA agent Smith.
I imagine with every new episode, he just starts crying. I gotta keep listening to these assholes. They're not really threats.
This guy ruins these three are ruining my life. You're welcome.
Christensen gets 1,000 viewers through the live stream, probably because the streams are like entertaining.
Yeah, no, they do all right, man. They like I said, they're pretty reasonable, man.
Well, some of the stuff that I was watching and enjoying, it's just got to the point where now it's just people yelling at each other, and I'm like, I don't really fucking care.
I mean, I could yell at you if you want.
But, like, it's not even, like, useful yelling. It's just stupid.
I can yell
it's gotten really...
There's a difference between having, like, a disagreement, like with me and Mike and stuff. Like, we would get into it a little bit heated. But, like, at the end, we were still, like, we could go on with the show afterwards and, put it aside. Once you were like, hey, guys, you fucking stop.
Stop being idiots. Pull your shit. There's about 30 seconds of awkwardness, and then we move on with our lives. that is the rinse repeat.
Then we would just go on, and eventually we would go on, and we would finish the show. It's just yelling and screaming that just never stops.
Yeah.
And then it's encouraged by everybody.
Yeah, they team up on whoever. They definitely coordinate. Like they've pretty much admitted it in the past that they coordinate like what they're fucking doing.
Oh, yeah. That's all funny. I like Akinaro's retort to us. I told you, if police came to me, I would tell them I'm part of a bigger organization and you're a part of it.
Yeah, I'm just he'd be like, I'm just a foot soldier. Let me turn these fuckers in. The overlords.
Herr Capitan Zangelharth, De Trois Croix, and Stabby Pants. Oh man, that's not a good name if the police are investigating that.
No, I swear to God, I'm reasonable.
Man, that's not going to work. How am I going to explain that?
So your name is yes. My name is Stabby Pants.
I was thinking about the other day. Like if you get arrested, you got to give them your like AKAs.
Yeah.
I legitimately would have to be like Skittles, Puck, Ben, John, just like all these names that aren't mine that I've used in the past situations. If I were being honest. If I were being honest, I'd just be like this list of just completely random shit, and they'd be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Does that count as an alias, like what you use as your online names?
No,
I don't think it does because it's not really official, right?
No, these are also names I've used in real life.
Oh, gotcha. Like officially, though?
Not my name either. I just use them occasionally, different cases. I used to go dancing in a lot of different places, so I would just use a different name at each one I went to.
You're like, oh yeah, I'm Ben here. I forgot.
Because I could. No reason.
Dude, come on, it's Stabby.
Yeah.
You're gonna look for a legitimate reason, dude. It's Stabby, dude. That's the reason.
Yes, I right when I asked that question, I'm like, why did I ask that question?
Right. That would be a legitimate question for anyone else on the planet, dude. But come on, it's Stabby.
Well, it's a legitimate question to ask me too. I mean, I should probably have a better answer than that, just because I could.
I thought it was hilarious.
It's the
this is the reason why I think it would be dangerous for you to start a cult, because you would probably think it's hilarious to have everybody dress up in black Nikes and drink a bunch of cyanide.
No, but I bet you I could get people to put their fingers up each other's butts and sniff them. Just like part of a greeting.
Right. This is our secret handshake, dude.
This is a secret handshake. You take your thumb. You just ram it
And then
in.
you try to guess what they ate last.
Oh.
Jesus, dude.
That's the normal greeting. But as their leader, I have to do something different. You know, I'm sure. Cause...
A hint of kale. Someone's on a health kick.
Damn. Yeah, you're plugged up, man. You've been eating a lot of cheese.
There you go. Oh, it serves multiple purposes. People won't be plugged up if they have that as a greeting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No,
That's wrong. That's right.
Yes.
Just so you know.
No, I've. That's why I showed up at what would have been 11:30.
Oh yeah. Oh, so an interesting story about time change, because my computer clock never changes to the right time for some reason during daylight savings time. And I was just pointing out, like, don't go by the computer clock to Engelhart because he always leaves early, and that would suck if he didn't know for like an hour. Like, oh damn.
Oh damn. Oh, my clock, I'm screwed.
But this fucking morning, I didn't know because I thought I had last night off. So I went to work last night, like after like half an hour late, and I'm just like, oh shit, I better just get in and get all my stuff done so I can get some sleep. And then I wake up, you know, my alarm goes off. I wake up, I get all my shit together. I start doing all the stuff I do before I leave. And I look up at the clock. I'm like, 6 o'clock. What the fuck is going on? And I look at my phone and I'm like, oh no, it's 7 o'clock. Oh shit. Because you have to turn my phone off and on for it to adjust because it's just a shitty flip phone.
Oh, okay.
Right? And so then 15 minutes later, as just a form of mockery, my goddamn alarm goes off again because it's set to go off at 6:15.
No.
They're just like, oh, by the way, this is when you could have been sleeping till, you dumb fucker.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why we don't deal with any of that shit here.
No.
In Arizona.
You don't have that in Arizona?
No, that's why it's an hour different now, dude. Because we don't do daylight savings. That's why half the year, like, because technically we're the mountain time zone, but because we don't switch, half the year we're the same as Pacific, and then half the year we're the same as mountain time.
So were we on the same time as you now?
No, we had been before.
Oh, so now we're just an hour.
Yeah. Now it's 10 after midnight where I'm at in Arizona.
So we're an hour behind you. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, that blows.
I'm talking to you from the future.
From the future.
What are the winning lotto numbers?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's all I would care about.
Who won the World Series? Wait, never mind.
I don't think you can make as much money that way, though, to be honest.
What? Working the lottery?
No, betting on, like, sports. I don't think you can make as much money as winning the lottery. You might.
Yeah, it depends. There's odds. Like, if you do odds for the Super Bowl, like, before the year starts, and, a team that made it, like, when the Rams won it, like, 10, 15 years ago, like, the odds were, like, 60 or 70 to 1.
I'm just thinking you have to have a lot of money to make a big enough bet for it to pay off that kind of money.
All right. Yeah, or, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you could probably.
Whereas the lottery, it's $1.
Yeah.
This is true. Or $2 for the Powerball.
Oh, that's right. I got fucked with that once. And they can't refund the Powerball. So you buy 2 Powerball tickets, you damn well better have $4.
Really? They can't void it out? That can't be right.
Nope, they can't void it out.
He's got a keyboard woodpecker.
Wow.
Oh, is it because Dave was typing?
Dave was typing. So you got a keyboard woodpecker, man.
Oh, I was tapping the side of the thing. Holy shit. I keep forgetting how well this picks up. All I was doing was tapping the side of the laptop, dude.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's why, because the microphone is usually in the laptop. Like, it's in, like, the camera.
Yeah. One of these days, I'll figure out how to do this fucking live stream thing.
All right,
Baby steps.
I got this article here.
Right. Brace yourselves. Clench your butt cheeks. Watch out for thumbs.
So this is from Broadly. Why girls hump pillows and stuffed animals.
Didn't we all at some point? Isn't that just a thing?
Stuffed animals and pillows?
You literally have pictures of stuffed animals and sexy poses.
Well, I put them together because it's funny and fucked up looking at it. It's not something like, these are memories of shit that I've done in weird ways.
Back in time.
Well, I did tell you the story about the guy flipping out on LSD and raping stuffed animals, so that exists on one of the Chatterboxes.
That's true. Yeah,
it's forever in our archives.
Right. Burned into the internets.
So apparently, pillows and stuffed animals are a big thing in like teenage girls' sex toy genre. I'm looking for a way to describe that sounds less creepy. I found a YouTube video, and there was these two chicks from Australia talking about humping pillows. And I was like, all right, this is fucking weird. So I typed it in, and I found this article, and I'm like, well, I got to share this. Everybody needs to know that apparently teenage girls hump pillows.
Wow.
Let's see, when I was 14, I straddled a huge Scooby-Doo. I went on Kings Island and rode him to Kingdom Come. I only got to do it once, though, so I busted him open.
Wow.
I was cleaning up that weird film roller for weeks. And then underneath,
That's fucking awesome, dude. Yeah. You win. You win the internet, Mr. Retro, sir.
Read more, wife Bart. Sometimes we travel near the data. Let's say that there are things in this world we don't need to know. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, because the clitoris actually goes back into the body. It's partially internal.
So you answered your own question. Or the question that you found online.
And so there's the little exposed part of the clitoris that can range anywhere from like half the size of a pea to like a lima bean size. But the majority of it is up in the pelvis. Oh, that makes sense, yeah. It's kind of like a backwards penis.
You fold it inside. You just kind of kept pushing it until it folded inward.
Oh, I think it's probably something like that, yeah.
Yeah, no, not an exact science.
For a minute, I was trying to make sense of that, and I'm like, what am I trying to fucking know?
You hear it, and you realize you should just leave it where it is, because the amount of logic they have to put into it would just destroy your brain.
I'm not sure logic has anything to do with that.
Exactly.
So is that like a lot more common than them using like a fucking banana or a fucking cucumber or something?
I would imagine pillows are probably more common just because like they don't look weird. Like if you were a chick and you just had this weird, slightly pickled fucking cucumber hanging out, like James Jones just said nope.
Well, if it wasn't pickled before.
But as long as you washed your pillow like your masturbating pillow regular, so it didn't build up like a funk, because I'm sure it would get funky after a while.
Yeah,
like those dudes
who
use their socks and just jam them under the bed or some shit, and like, they don't put them in the wash. It's like, yeah, you can get on your watch that pretty regular, buddy.
I mean, if you want something to hold shape.
Oh, best thing I ever read was this fucking like a Reader's Digest style article. I don't remember exactly where I saw it. But this lady was complaining that there were fucking snail trails all over her teenage son's room. And it was all from the point of view of this, her friend who had to explain it to her, who was like, no, you need to have a talk with your son about his fucking cleanliness and behavior and hygiene, because that shit ain't okay. Like, it's cool that he's jacking off and shit, because that's what teenagers do, and there's nothing you can do about that. But he ain't supposed to be just leaving streams everywhere, fucking over his dresser and his window and his desk.
Dude, that's just a little psychopath, dude. Nobody told me that I should use a sock or fucking paper towels or anything. I just did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is a little fucking weird.
You know what I mean? Did anybody tell you that you had to masturbate into something, or is it something you just fucking assumed because you're not a fucking sociopath?
I was just, that's sticky and messy and shit. So I just like the natural inclination. It's like, yeah, I better wipe that shit up with something.
Yeah, dude. A fucking sock, a shirt, a towel, whatever, dude. This kid's just a little fucking psychopath, dude.
Underwear.
Extra pair of underwear?
The extra pair of underwear, yeah. Because then you wipe everything off with the old pair, and you put on that nice, fresh, clean pair, and it's like double benefit. You already jacked off, and you got clean undies on now. Feeling fresh and clean. Inside and out.
Ready to take on the world.
Can't have wet dreams slowing you down in the morning.
Hell no.
Take care of
dude, that is Dude, I used to, like, I would love having the wet dream, but I would hate waking up in a fucking pool of my own jizz in the morning, dude. Or actually, it wasn't even morning. I would usually wake up immediately, fucking all the jizz in my fucking shorts.
Well, and then the worst is, until you realize what that is, like before you just wake up with your pants soaking wet and smelling weird. Like
right. Why does it smell like bleach in here?
It's like, oh shit! Akinawa's got something.
Drum roll, please.
One time when I was 13 years old, I just masturbated watching porn on TV. And I come so hard that it reached the TV. It was 3 meters, so almost 9 feet.
God damn, dude.
Oh yeah, imagine my terrified face when I had to clean out fast. Yeah, that would be fucking. Gotta clean that shit up.
Yeah, if you catch the spasm just right, your fucking jizz will fly across the room, dude.
Yeah. Something like go something like 100 miles an hour, some crazy fucking speed.
Research
faster than a sneeze. It's really good.
Max speed. Phrasing. It's reaching Mach speed.
The average speed of ejaculation is 31 miles per hour.
Mine's way faster than that.
It's almost as fast as a moped.
It's faster than a Peruvian Jaguar. That's just the average. That's not. Human male ejaculates on an average distance of 7 to 10 inches. The world record for the farthest is 18 feet.
God damn.
Oh.
Dude, they actually have a world record for that. That's amazing.
Of course they have a world record for that.
Well, no, how do they... I'm imagining how the fuck you measure that. Like, is there a guy masturbating? Like, hey, get ready to measure this.
Hey, I'm going to bust this nut. You want to watch?
Get the tape measure ready. I'm about to finish.
See, this is the quality entertainment that our viewers tune in for.
This is what you come in. That's what you come for week to week, man.
Although I believe that record was under protest because they claimed that it was wind aided.
It's very aerodynamic, so it's cheating. It's when you work with the wind.
Yeah, anything above a 2 mile per hour wind, and it's not legit.
It's gonna carry.
Well, I remember I told you guys the story about the dude who got all excited and came in his own mouth, right? Like
Yes.
A friend of mine, they went and saw the video at the chick's house of her boyfriend doing that, which is, I'm sure, that was a little weird experience.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm good not ever having to do that. Like,
wouldn't that be the most awkward thing in the fucking world, though? Some chick's like, hey, come on, hang out with me. You're like, all right, we'll just go hang out. Let me show you porn of me and my boyfriend.
Yeah, I can live without that.
It's like, this seems like something I don't want to be involved in anymore.
Yeah, dude, I had a chick that wanted to show me a video of her fucking boyfriend masturbating. Just her boyfriend masturbating. I'm like, no, I don't want to fucking see that. What the fuck is wrong with you?
What the hell? Just some dude wanking? Like that was for you?
Yeah. She's like, you got to see this. I'm like, no, I don't. I don't ever have to see that. Like, I think I'll fucking punch you in the face if you fucking sneak that on me somehow, dude.
Like I can live a long, happy life.
Yeah, damn, dude.
And especially if it's like a friend, your friend come up to you and be like, "Hey, this is my significant other jerking off."
I had a weird sort of, well, not quite the same thing, sort of a reverse kind of that. I used to hang out with this dude named Cameron, and this motherfucker would always get chicks to do naked photo shoots for him. I don't know why, I don't know how, but then he would always show me, and they were always supposed to be like private photos that no one's supposed to know about. And I'm like, why are you doing that, dude? That one of these days that's going to bite you in the ass. Because I know we were showing only me. You're showing other people too.
Yeah.
And I'm sure sooner or later it's going to get back to these chicks.
All right, they're going to be like, hey, I've seen you. Yeah, you got a great body. Yeah. Like, how do you know that? Cameron showed me.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you got a shit stump.
Oh, man.
I really am curious why you named who the guy was. Is that his real name?
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to fucking lead back to anything at this point. I mean, first.
Yeah, not likely, but I was just like, wow, do you use a real name there?
I've used my real name occasionally.
You know how, the legion of people following this, dude, 4chan's going to investigate you.
Oh, I don't fucking give a shit. I mean, no, I don't think my company would give half a shit if they even made it through like the first video on here. They'd just be like, "Oh God, no, I don't care."
Stop, make it stop. Kill it on fire.
Oh, James Jones says you have to see it. You want to see it.
Fuck, dude.
You can't unsee it.
Yeah, I
Trying
thought.
to convince me that like cheaters could end up being like in a good relationship with the person they cheated with.
Wow.
For like an hour.
Jesus.
Nope. Not fucking happening.
Yeah.
Not fucking happening, lady.
Yeah, that always amazed me, man. Like, I mean, I guess it's technically possible, like if somebody's in a really shitty relationship, but I don't know, man. If they're willing to cheat instead of just getting out of the relationship,
It's exactly what I said. For like an hour in many different ways. Before I was finally like, look, I gotta go.
Right.
I've said my piece.
Yeah, that is true. If you're willing to cheat, you might as well just get the fuck out of the relationship, dude.
Yes, James Jones, fuck whitey. That's straight. He's referring to the white YouTuber, by the way. You know, in case anybody doesn't know. Although if we see collab too many times, he'll show the fuck up. So be careful.
Did he do something, or is that just a general out of the blue thing?
Just a general thing. I'm just not a fan of that. I don't really like care one way or the other, but I'm not a huge fan of that dude. He comes
I have apparently missed all kinds of shit that he's done, dude. Because like I don't know, the few times I've seen him, he seems like pretty decent. The collab thing is a little weird.
Yeah,
and I think I've actually told him that, like, dude, just do your own thing. And he's definitely immature. Like, I get that, but yeah, I haven't seen any of the real bad shit that people tell me he does, dude.
Okay, there we go. I don't know, man. He just seems kind of like surface to me. Like, I don't think he's like a bad person, but just not really like that. There's not really much below the surface.
Yeah, I think he's just young and immature, dude.
Cash.
Yeah, he's too immature, dude. I think he'll be all right in like 10 years.
James, I started that rumor on Twitter that he was dead. They were saying, God, it'd be really funny if somebody sent like Jem a tweet about Whitey being dead. So I did, and then it just took off. So,
see?
It wasn't me that came up with it. It was a bunch of people in the stream.
This is why you can't have a cult, Stabby. This is why you can't have a cult.
I want to have a cult. Don't see what's about that. Oh, the people I would kill. I have a fucking list and everything. I had it all ready to go, baby.
I'm fired up. Stabby's fired up, man. He's rocking.
Oh man, if I had a cult, there's so many things I could do.
If I only had a cult.
Nope. Akinara's off to work. Damn it. No lullabies for you tonight.
Damn responsibilities. Isn't that terrible? We all just need to like let go of our responsibilities, you know?
Yeah, just stop being responsible for stuff. Let me make your decision for you. It's so much easier.
Take what you want, give nothing back. What's that from? What's that?
I don't know.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Whitey's Discord server is dead, huh? That's too bad.
I know he had like back surgery or something, and has it been pretty much since then? He just checked out, or what?
Yeah, well, if there's serious back surgery, he's probably just laid out on painkillers right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be at all surprised. Just recouping.
Some of that stuff's good shit, though, man. You're not gonna remember what happened a week ago.
I don't get any of that from it.
Really?
The only thing I've ever gotten from painkillers is they kill pain. Like Percocet and Vicodin, I don't get any kind of high off them at all. Not even like a little.
And see, my body reacts completely different to it. I'm such a bitch because of that to it.
I think I might actually be immune to the narcotic effects of like heroin-based things.
Huh.
Yeah, I wish I had that problem, dude. It would have saved me from going to 2 fucking rehabs.
I had no fucking doubt.
That's why I try to stay away from that.
Well, dude, I have a fucked up back, and that's why I fucking, it took like taking them off and on for like a good dozen years before I finally got hooked on them. But then it was fucking over.
So I'm googling this. I'm curious.
Drum roll.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not seeing anything. Maybe it's not possible. Or maybe I just need a bigger dose or something in order to get high. Like I need to take like more of the pills. I'm not gonna. I'm just saying like maybe that would be what it would take.
Need a ridiculous amount of narcotics.
Well, I don't know, man. Like I was resistant to when they put me under for surgery. It took 3 times what they, I guess, would normally use to put somebody under. And and I came right out of it. When I woke up, I was just completely returned like back to conscious. I wasn't like that halfway state.
Dude, even I'm not like, addicts and alcoholics are usually really resistant, but even I wasn't resistant to that shit.
Yeah.
Like the shit they shot me up with, my brother was with me, dude, and then I was like, after they gave it to me, I'm like, hey, man, they said they'll come get you as soon as I come out, and they're, ready to dismiss me. And he's like, dude, you just told me that 20 seconds ago. It's like, holy shit, dude. I'm like, this is some good fucking shit.
Yeah, every time I've had that kind of situation, they say like count to 60. Like I might get to 10, and then I'm just I'm out like a light.
They had me count backwards from 10, and then like a few moments later, they were like, "Dude, are you still awake?" I was like, "Yeah."
Dude, I'm at like negative 45.
Like, I stopped at 10 was over a while ago, buddy.
Yeah.
And they were like, holy shit. And then they're like, come over here and look at this. And then the fucking anesthesiologist wrapped himself around the IV pole, which is great because it's part of the bed, so it's always there.
Yeah. Which
makes you real fucking confident. And that guy's doing a great job. Like, knows what he's doing because he walks into the pole that's on the same place on the bed every goddamn time. And then he came over and he's like, wow, you're going down, buddy. Double syringe full of what he originally, like, the first one was half a syringe. This was a whole one. And he put it in the IV, and then I was out.
You're going down.
Yeah, I remember trying to fight that shit. And I think I made it to like 5 one time. That shit knocked me out fucking quick, dude. And I'd really try to fight it.
I just imagine that sounding like a boxing match fight. Sunday. Skittles McStabby Pants versus the anesthesiologist. Play on pay-per-view.
You're going down, brother.
You're going down. I'm going to put you to sleep.
I don't know, man. It might just be that I'm a big dude. I don't know. Or maybe I have my system metabolizes the stuff faster. Something like
no, you're some kind of fucking freak, dude. Just embrace it.
I don't know. I have a high tolerance for pain, so it works out. So.
Oh, I'm glad. Every time they did it, I'm glad I was out. I could not be happier. Get like the little camera, like cameras going in you and stuff, or getting the wisdom teeth taken out.
Well, the only thing I ever had was eye surgery. I never had a camera going in me.
Oh yeah,
that is the worst feeling. I stayed awake for because I didn't want to get put under.
I couldn't. I would not. I had 2 of them impacted, so they'd have to really get in there.
Oh, I had.
And so I was just like, nope, knock me out. Do it with a brick.
I had one impacted, broke a tooth in half across like the angle. So not like left to right or top or bottom, but across it like an angle. And it got infected and swelled the side of my face out like a baseball, and I couldn't eat anything for like a week. And they had to like put fucking wedges and shit in there and wedge my jaw open enough. And then they put a bunch of this stuff in. It killed most of the pain, but I still felt a little bit of what was going on. But what they do is they break your fucking tooth into parts and then dig that shit out like parts at a time. And I had 5 removed at once.
But you only have 4 wisdom teeth.
Plus the impacted one that broke.
Oh. It's like, wait, what?
I'm gonna say mine was pretty easy, man. Well, 3 of mine were pretty much grown in, and the 4th one was like almost all the way grown in when I had mine pulled.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It was like a couple hours. Just
I
laying there. I think they did the gas, but it didn't really do anything.
Oh,
mine literally took 10 minutes because I was like, dude, it felt like I was only under for like 15 minutes. They're like, no, more like 10. I was like, holy shit, you guys did it that fast.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
I looked a little disappointed because I didn't get all loopy off the gas or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, the nitrous. Wow, 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 wow.
None of that. I didn't even feel really super relaxed from it. It just smelled funny.
It's just one of them farting into a can.
Yeah, it really was
like, here, dude, this will make you laugh. But mine was funny because I had my girlfriend with me to pretty much help me pour me into the car, and apparently I looked like I was drunk off my ass, and so I'm sitting there just like trying to keep my head stable, and I couldn't like hold my neck. My neck wasn't strong enough when I was waking up, so my head was just kind of like flopping everywhere. And so I had leaned back, and my mouth opened, and then I leaned forward, and I had driven my teeth into my lip.
Oh,
and so now I'm just like because I'm already bleeding from the fact that it's wisdom teeth. So now I'm bleeding from from everything.
Yeah.
So my whole mouth is just like, as she put it, it almost looked like it was a zombie apocalypse thing, like where you're just like your mouth's just like kind of red because you're all
eating human flesh as you do in a zombie apocalypse,
and also your mouth is very red because it's covered in blood.
Yeah.
And so just like this, like leaned up against the chair.
Dude, that's pretty good.
And it eventually
I wish I'd done that.
It was entertaining.
Yeah.
You kind of like slip in and out of consciousness for about 5 minutes, and then you kind of get coherent enough to try to move around, and then you're pretty much just drunk.
Oh, okay, cool.
Without really feeling too sick, you're just really like drunk and nummy. So it was kind of just like throw my arm over her and just kind of like fumbled my ass down the hall.
Dude, I had one time, one of the surgeries on my hand, the anesthesiologist must have given me too much of whatever shit they gave me, because for like 3 or 4 hours after I got home, I was just like freaked out. Like it's hard to explain, but I had like an incredible amount of like it felt like anxiety, I guess. And I was like laying in my bed and like constantly like kicking my feet and like kicking the mattress and shit. It was the weirdest thing ever. In fact, I think it was one of the first surgeries I had for it, because when I went back the second time, I was terrified because I thought I wasn't going to have to get put under, and I was fucking scared to get put under. And they're like, "Oh no, we're going to have to put you under." But when I came through out of that one, I was totally fine. So that's when I realized, I was like, that motherfucker's like overdosed me, dude.
It probably. I wouldn't surprise me. We make mistakes like that all the time.
Yeah, dude. I could have sued their punk asses.
Yeah. That's why you ain't got the big money. I should have sued Sears.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to be a little more litigious, dude.
I know.
I mean, if some old lady can pour hot coffee in her lap and sue McDonald's for $50 million.
Oh, I'm not doing that. I like my balls.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of my nuts. And,
well, when you're older, though, because I think she was like in her 60s or something.
Yeah.
I mean, what use is your fucking cooch at that point, dude?
Like, there were skin grafts involved in that coffee thing. I really don't want to do that to myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I just thought it was crazy. Like, who doesn't know that coffee is incredibly hot, dude?
I think that coffee actually required skin grafts. Like, it burned skin off.
Mm-hmm.
They did have a...
so it was like, even for hot coffee, it was like extremely, like, ridiculously hot?
It was way beyond hot.
Yeah, they had it set to, like, well above...
The standard.
Like, what it should be.
And wow, okay. Wow.
It was actually scalding hot. Whereas
I've never heard that, dude. I've never heard that about that story.
She had to get skin grafts. That's how hot it was.
Oh, okay. All right, never mind then. I take it back. I apologize.
But there are definitely probably some people where it's just like, I burned my mouth on the coffee, I'm going to sue you for it. It's like,
the chicks that tried to sue McDonald's for being fat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We don't remember that shit.
Jesus.
I should never... It's my own damn fault if I go to Taco Bell. Because, man, do I love Taco Bell. But if I get fat off of Taco Bell, that's my own damn fault.
They did something over the last couple of years, because I used to never get their tacos. But suddenly, like, their crunchy tacos and soft tacos are amazing. And I don't know what happened. But it's something within the last, like, 2 or 3 years, because I haven't had any of their tacos in a really long time. And then recently we got like one of those big, you know, the fucking where you just get a bunch of tacos and burritos and shit. Like,
Yeah, the 10-pack or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I tried with the crunchy tacos, one of the soft tacos. I'm like, holy shit, these are good.
The vlog box.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're actually not bad, man. They're decent.
It was surprising. What is it also surprising? I tried one of the Carl's Jr. Munster tacos.
Munster?
Yeah, they're not Carl's Jr. Jack in the Box Munster tacos.
Oh,
and it's like a taco that they take and deep fry. So it's everything in a taco. They seal the tortilla and then they deep fry that shit to make it crunchy. And
yeah, those are.
Really
I
good.
actually really like those, dude.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's
good.
It looks disgusting and sounds disgusting, and then somehow you eat it and it tastes pretty goddamn good, dude.
Yeah, it looks used when you open it.
It looks used.
Yeah.
And their taco sauce is really good with it. It's a great thing.
It'll be a mix of that feeling when you eat it and you're like, oh, this is so good. And then afterwards, when you're not eating it, you're like, now I feel like such a horrible person for eating this.
Like Taco Bell every time you go.
Oh, of course. Every single time.
I like their empanadas, dude. The caramel apple empanadas. Those are really fucking good.
I've never had those.
Yeah, try them, dude. They're really good.
Never tried.
Yeah, because it's essentially just like apples and like a caramel sauce inside a, you know, like a sugary dough or whatever.
Oh no, that wasn't Taco Bell. That was never mind. I was thinking there was like a place that does this deal where they make tortilla chips, but they're like coated in cinnamon sugar.
Oh yeah.
And you can order it, and they'll just put like a tortilla chip with cinnamon sugar that's coated on it, like right after it comes out of the fryer, so it's really stuck to it.
Mm.
And then it's just like a little blob of whipped cream on the top. And like after you eat, I forget what it's called. Like there's a place in here, but I thought it was Taco Bell for some reason that you ordered it from. But
I know, like, do you guys have Peter Piper Pizza where you live? Probably don't.
No, I've never heard of that.
Okay, yeah, it's a pizza place here. The pizza's actually pretty decent. But they do like for the buffets, like at lunch, they'll do like a buffet thing, and they'll have dessert pizzas like that, where they have cinnamon and sugar on the dough with like icing and shit. It's pretty good. Sometimes they'll put the cherry pie filling on there.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, you deep fry the stuff they make tortillas with and fucking.
Mm-hmm. Or yeah, when I worked in the Mexican food, I used to work in a Mexican food restaurant here. They would make apple burritos, where they would put the apple pie filling in a burrito, fry it, then they put it in a little box with cinnamon and sugar and shake it, so there'd be a bunch of cinnamon and sugar on the outside. That shit was fucking good.
Somehow it just works.
Yeah, it's amazing, dude.
Well, James Jones wants to let us know he likes wet tacos. He doesn't.
I think
Don't we all?
There's a general consensus in the room that we all like wet tacos.
Yeah. And then William Spencer was making fun of failure, which, never a bad choice. You get food, feel your heart disease, and feel like you're terminated. It actually works, it's like a progression of what happens. I'm just waiting. So I love The Dump. If anybody's ever watched a guy by the name of Unknown Archive, does a show on Failure Accomplished channel called The Dump Mondays and Friday nights, where he shows old TV shows, and you never get to watch the whole thing. It's sort of like when you're a kid flipping channels, essentially, if you think about it. And except you're doing it with a group of people, and it's fun to watch. And I'm just waiting because sooner or later he's gonna get Failure Accomplished channel fucking stream locked, where where you get a strike on it and you can't stream for a month or some shit. I mean, it's gonna happen sooner or later. I'm just waiting for that. That is gonna blow up so bad.
Yeah, why is he doing it on that? Why isn't he doing it on his own channel?
Because they're good friends. They're good friends, and he gets more viewers when he's on Failure's channel.
Oh, gotcha. Really? Wow, that's sad.
Well, and the thing is, it's a great show. It's just it's YouTube are really fucking bad about people who are doing things with fair use, and he's nowhere near fair use.
Right. That's literally just showing it.
I mean,
sure, they do their little, hey, go and get high breaks, but other than that, they're never
he has a bunch of gimmicks, but it's not for the purpose of commentary, and it's not educational. It's just showing the shows.
It is not transformative in nature, is what you're saying.
Not really, not at all.
Yeah.
Although he's really fucking smart. I think he's got the algorithm beat for right now. I'm waiting for when the algorithms update and he doesn't know it.
Yeah.
They usually catch that shit.
Definitely a stay ahead of the game sort of thing. They gotta stay on top of it for you to stay relevant. Why stay from being in trouble?
William, you hate almost everything. I'm pretty sure you hate us, to be honest, Mr. Chatterbox. What is that?
Don't listen to him, dude. You're fine.
I don't. Is that whole thing just because Failure had his picture in like fucking the earlier part of this year, like 6 months ago?
Yeah, it was from VidCon.
Is that what it was?
When he fell asleep at VidCon, when he was like in a chair, sitting in a chair, he fell asleep in a chair.
So wait, he went to a place to go meet people face to face, and then got upset that his face got out?
No, it was weird. I was like, I don't know what no bullshit, no BS is doing, because he's on one hand acting like he doesn't care, and then he's making a big deal about being doxxed, but then saying he doesn't really care. But then he's saying he does dox
name out.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess you could from his face, you could find him if you really looked hard enough. But
right, yeah, and that's the thing is Failure had done that. I guess apparently back when it happened. I guess a few months ago. But yeah, it was weird. That whole thing were you watching that, Skittles? I mean,
no, I didn't watch it. I just heard about it. Now it's just
it was on the cunt stream.
Twitter going, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, no, they talked about it on the cunt stream, dude.
See, that's why I didn't watch it, because it said somebody versus somebody, and historically that just means a lot of yelling and annoying. Mm-hmm. Right. It's not as entertaining for me. Like I like when people time bullshit. I don't really want to hear like the fucking. What was it when Peach Bailey and what's her name, Chambers or something, fucking started fighting and screaming at each other? Like that just felt awkward and uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah. Stenchepper, he had kind of laughed at it already. He's saying it was a dick move to take a picture while he was sleeping, but he had laughed it off before, and then all of a sudden he had a problem with it.
You see what James said? His face was already out, and he uses his face on Patreon.
Yeah, that was the other points they were kind of making, is he had already sent out shit. He had already had tweets that he erased, apparently, when this all started, when he started making a big deal. Apparently he had tweets that had his face that he deleted.
I think
after he made this big fuss.
Oh, after he made a big fuss. He's probably just trying to get attention then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The way he was talking, I'm like, you either have multiple personalities or you're just full of shit, dude.
I'm wondering, so... Oh, God damn it. So I think the difference between the sleeping thing, William, is No BS was sleeping in the middle of an auditorium in like a chair for the audience, like right out in the middle of public. He wasn't like in a bed in his house or in a hotel room in his bed.
Yeah, there's a major difference there.
Was filming a guy that was sleeping presumably in the bed next to her.
Yeah, that was at essentially private residence. That wasn't sleep at a panel.
It was in a hotel room, but it's still like it's weird when you're filming somebody in bed and they're in a private room of some kind. Right. It's not a public area. But if somebody is out in public, you kind of just have to assume like they can film whatever. You can be filmed whatever.
Yeah, if anybody I knew did that, I'd be fucking clowning on them for it. And if I did that, I would expect people to clown on me for it. I'd think it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, it's still not the nicest thing in the world to do, but you kind of assume if you're out in public just falling asleep.
Right. Yeah, and I don't know what their relationship was at that point. Were they like not friends at all, and he did that shit at that time? You know, or were they pretty good friends already? Were they they know each other pretty well? I don't know any of that shit.
Do you film people when they're sleeping, Engelhardt? Is that a thing when you do?
That's my shit.
So you and James would do along.
Yeah, I sneak around.
Yeah. Sneak around. Yeah, but his outrage definitely seemed to be phony, dude. It seemed weird. That's the way he was talking on the cunt stream was, it was pretty ridiculous. You might want to give it a listen because it is it's pretty entertaining.
Out their disagreements now.
Yeah,
that should be hilarious.
But dude, it was literally.
Okay, we're gonna fight now.
Yeah.
You can be mad about this. I'm gonna be mad about this. Here's some high notes to hit.
Yeah. No, dude, it was literally at one point. I'm like, dude, this after like the first minute, it was literally like it was put on a loop, like because he was doing. He reminded me of Zeph, dude. Except Zeph actually did it way better. Like Zeph actually looked really good by comparison. But he was doing the constant deflection and conflation shit, dude. You know,
Yeah.
it was really bizarre, dude. You know, and then he was like, "I didn't say she was fat." And I'm like, "Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure you did. Like we all heard you." I think you called Vamp Candy or somebody fat. And then said he didn't.
No.
Yeah, it was really strange, dude. It was really fucking bizarre.
I'll have to give it a listen at some point.
Mm. Yeah.
I don't know. That sounds fishy to me. I don't know. I missed the Kumite where Carl Reed was supposed to go after Angry Pepe. The two people, Carl Reed is like super fucking racist. I think he was on the stream with us once, and we were all like, I think that dude might really hate black people. Like, holy shit, I'm pretty sure he does.
I remember that.
Yeah. And he,
I try not to, but I remember that guy.
It was just a moment of like, I think he might actually really not like black people. That's a little weird.
Right.
And then Angry Pepe is just like a dude who tries to sound super like ghetto black for some reason, and just reuses a lot of jokes from 80s movies. And so they kind of had like a smackdown to see who was the better at like insulting the other. And I should have listened to that. I should have. That one might actually have been funny. But
yeah, I might want to saunter myself over to that one.
Well, that was good natured though.
Yeah. That's
That
the
was
point.
it.
That's why I should probably go watch it, because it sounds like it's going to be good natured. Hopefully,
I'll have to send you the link on Twitter.
fire away.
Oh, that's right. I was going to ask you. So, how are you coming along with your get out of town bag kind of deal? Your
My bug out bag.
Your bug out bag.
So the one thing that I came across that my roommate introduced to me is it is a literal brick of food.
Oh, there you go.
So it's like, I'm gonna say about
like these, but bigger.
I would say it's about 6 inches.
Yeah.
6 inches long and the brick of itself is like 6 by 6.
So you're talking about like the Coast Guard rations.
It's a perfect square. And so like, but it holds like 30,000 calories in it, like something like that. It's like it's this chalky garbage, fucking nothing but just straight nutrients food.
Where the hell did you get that at, dude?
It's I think it's called. Caleb. Cabela's. There you go. I think it's in there. I think it's where my roommate got it from.
So this is the ER bar right here. This is essentially the same as what you're talking about. It's 3,600 calories. It's one big thing.
Yeah. It's something like that. It's something like that. It's packaging looks different, but besides that, it's pretty on point. Where it's literally just a giant fucking clod of.
Oh, of course it's
tasteless nutrition, basically.
Oh yeah, this isn't high class dining. This is, hey, you need some shit in your belly for you to survive.
Well, Mainstay is
take this
there's two brands that do it. But there's Daytrex.
That kind of looks like it.
Yeah, so there's Daytrex, there's Mainstay, and then there's EV. And they all three make it. And it's exactly the same as what I was showing you in this Millennium bar that I have sitting right here. They're good for lifeboats and life rafts, but they're essentially, if you look at the nutrition on the back of this, and you see what the first ingredient is, it'll tell you exactly, it's because it's the same shit as in there.
Sugar.
Yeah. So they're not bad, and you won't starve when you're eating them. But I would recommend just throwing in some like cans of tuna and some fucking granola bars. Anything you eat normally, just throw in and buy a little extra when you're out, and then just cycle it through your bag so you're not just leaving it in the bag all the time.
Yeah.
Stuff you normally eat that doesn't require cooking.
Yeah, beef jerky.
I'll probably throw these away because it's just fucking bars of sugar.
Yeah.
Like a 400 calorie bar.
How long is beef jerky's got to be good for a while? How long does beef jerky stay good? A couple of years?
They say it's good for like. Oh, you stop sharing that. They say it's good for usually like a year on the shelf.
Okay.
It depends entirely. Was I looking at condoms?
No, he's saying the packages, dude.
Packages of condoms. Because I had like a bouquet of condoms on my fucking shelf. I mean, it's not like that'd be weird.
I'm gonna back away slowly.
No, dude. That reminds me, you know, I followed that the person below thing, the lewd one, hoping to catch you.
Yeah.
Finally, that one came up right before I came on the stream. Actually, when I went on Twitter, your post showed up below one that says, "This guy buys condoms in bulk."
That's actually fairly appropriate because I've actually done that. So
yeah,
what you see here is a bouquet of condoms.
Oh yeah, that was going to be the place setting for your TV dinner testing, right?
Yeah, well, once I start buying TV dinners again, because they all went bad and the power was out for a while. We have to figure out a place to film it reliably.
I like the rotation; it looks very natural.
Yeah.
It's lagging out.
There we go.
That is beautiful, man.
It's a real artiste.
This is artistic right here. This is a bouquet of condoms. There we go. I feel like that's a good enough view.
You got pipe cleaners and condoms, dude. Beautiful.
Oh.
Give it to your mom. She'll love it. That's from James in the chat. I like that. My mom would crack the fuck up.
Yeah.
It'd be like a surprise. It's not like she don't know me.
Like, do I have the bouquet for you? Give it to your mom this Mother's Day.
Yeah, I bet if you did that, your mom probably wouldn't even be that shocked, dude. She'd be like, "Yep, that's my stabby."
Oh man, that's hilarious. No, so like I for what I keep generally in my emergency thing, I have like these little packets of applesauce, granola bars, and fruit leather, and then I throw in some tuna because I like tuna, especially get those little metal packets, and I'll use that shit and make sandwiches all the time, so I can just cycle it out so it's never old.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fruit leather and the granola bars and the applesauce is shit that I just eat, like as part of my lunch usually. So, and they're good, you know, because if you're not going to leave it in there for 4 years and forget about it. The other thing is I highly recommend whatever rations you use, because it's not like those are terrible, the mainstay ones. Try them. Sweet Jesus, try them first, because you don't want to like find out you can't stand the flavor when that's all you've got. It's the worst time to find out that it tastes terrible.
Yeah, you don't want to set yourself up for long-term survival and then end up killing yourself because you can't stomach the food that you have for survival.
Well, because like a lot of fucking preppers and stuff, when you watch them, they tell you to do like beans and rice. Just pounds and pounds of beans and rice. You should have 200 pounds of beans and rice and nothing else. And I'm like, man, beans and rice would be awful on like day 2.
Oh man,
Right.
no. See,
Get old
beans
really
and rice would be awful for everyone else around me.
No. But like, just imagine after the first day you've eaten 3 meals, they're all beans and rice.
Oh my god!
You wake up the second day, gas is terrible. You're having like the worst shits. And guess what you get to eat again 3 times that day? More beans and rice. Now think the 3rd day and the 4th day. How's that going to taste on the 3rd and the 4th day of eating beans and rice?
You stop tasting and you start shitting bricks.
Right.
Eating life.
Yeah. Telling you, dude, that'll drive you nuts.
The stench ever. You can eat as a gun and bullets. You just steal from others. Apparently, I don't watch enough movies for it.
That's the real thing.
I watched a fucking video where this dude went on for like 15 minutes about how you should hide your food, and you should make sure your kids don't talk about your food, and like you want to make sure the neighbors don't know you have food, because the last thing you want is people coming to your house and trying to get your food. Like it was.
And he was on a television show, like nationally televised, talking about that.
It was a YouTube video. So like, there's
okay.
there's a few different kinds of preppers. There's the preppers that just carry like 50 pounds of guns and think they're going to go out in the woods and just kill everything and eat it. Then there's like the super survivalist preppers who practice shit like, surviving with nothing but like a toothpick and a paper clip out in the woods for like a week.
Just turn into my neighbor.
There's a few of them that are pretty good, man. Like there's a dude that just goes out into the woods or the desert with a knife and just hangs out there for like 2 weeks. And he just, that's what he's done all his life. Though. So, I mean, like, this is not the kind of skills I'm ever going to have.
Yeah, my Boy Scout training, do me a little bit of good, but it's not going to help you survive, dude, long term.
I mean, I could build shelter, I could get a fire going, but I'm not going to be able to. I'm not a hunter. I don't know. I'm not going to catch a deer.
Mm-hmm. You're not going to know how to set a trap. Yeah, like use natural shit to make a trap, a snare or whatever.
I know the basics of how to do it, but I've never done it, so the odds are it wouldn't work when I tried. If I were going to try to trap things, I would just take a couple of rat traps and just use those because I figure, you might be able to bag like a squirrel or like a small fucking rat, and at that point, you're really not going to be picky about what you're eating. And if you secure the trap just to like a stick or something, and it catches something bigger that can't get out, maybe you can come back later and stab it from a distance with a pointing stick.
Mm.
Yeah,
bring the hammer down.
William wants to know if I buy supplements from InfoWars. But like, legit, we took off from my house for a couple of days when the fires hit in California, man. So I've actually had to use some of this shit. But I had like realistic stuff in my prepper bag was like clothes and fucking medicine that I take every day, and then fucking some water and some food and like some shit to entertain myself, like a little handheld video game thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a good. The wildfires there were a good dry run for you for the apocalypse then.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, it was kind of interesting because I had my 2 roommates with me, and we all traveled down, about 30 minutes south from where away from the fire.
Right.
But we piled in as much food as we could. I was already packed because I actually came from a competition weekend, so I had all my stuff in a suitcase.
Oh, there you go.
And so I was all prepped. I threw all medication and stuff like that. And you never know where this is going to go, what's going to happen. And so we bring more defense.
Oh, really?
Right.
One of we went in 2 vehicles, and one of my roommates had like rifles and stuff like all chocked in his truck or his car.
I'd say that's a good idea. Even if you don't think you're going to use them, you don't want somebody to loot your house and then go out and shoot people with your guns because you left them there.
Yeah.
That would feel really bad if that happened. So I would be happy.
Yeah.
So I was sitting there, I'm just hanging out in my room. So I'm like, this is probably the safest place to be right now. Because if anyone fucks with us, it's probably not going to go well.
Well, you're sporting rifles. I'm already a fan.
Yeah. So big believer in Second Amendment. Thank you. Red-blooded American.
I don't know if I've shown you this, but it's a knife with a flint in the back, so you can strike it.
Whoa.
Hey man, share with the whole class, dude.
Yeah, you gotta share this show with the class.
Let's see.
Here, I'll be your cameraman.
Where did I set that damn camera? All right, here we go.
Okay.
So it should be that way.
Here, I'm just gonna pop out
Get his cock out of your ass and get it on camera, man. Let's go.
Here, I'm gonna try to be against the lighting. Oh wow, that's actually kind of nice.
So,
Oh, that's perfect. Look at that.
This is just a small knife, and you put my hand there, so it's 4 or 5 inches.
See?
And then you just give the handle a twist at the top here. Pops out. It's a little
Got the flint. Nice.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, you definitely want to have some kind of flint, dude. That's huge, man.
I have lighters and shit because I'd much rather use lighters or a match. But I figure, worst case scenario, you never know when a knife might come in handy.
Rambo McStabby Pants. Stench ever called you Rambo McStabby Pants.
So he's turned in from Nazi Stabby Skittles McStabby Pants, the Nazi, to the Rambo version.
Yeah, it can be both. He can pull both off. Dude. He's Rambo Stabby Pants, the Nazi.
It's upset.
Oh, it's upside down.
Hey,
there we go.
Oh, wow.
That's a knife.
So that's my Rambo knife.
Mm-hmm.
It's Condor. The little hole is supposed to represent the eye of the bird.
Yeah, very, very stylized. Nice.
So here's my thing. So you never know when the knife might come in handy. Just like building shit as a tool. This is more like a little half knife, half hatchet kind of thing. It's almost a machete, but not quite. But here's the interesting thing you see with a lot of preppers. They always talk about like these weird, like fancy carbon steel things. Well, those things rust real fucking easy. And if you're gonna stick it in a pack that you're gonna leave in a corner, because I mean you're gonna check your food and stuff, you're probably not gonna think that you gotta check your knives, but you don't want a bunch of rusty knives. Always get stainless steel knives. So both of those knives are stainless steel. Because they won't sit and rust in your bag for eventually they'll rust, but it'll take a really long time.
Yeah.
So it's not something you're gonna have to cycle out like every few years or something.
Yeah, or get out in oil and like clean with a like steel wool kind of thing, or sandpaper, like real fine sandpaper.
Yeah.
And they work great. They're really not that different from like some of those steels. Some of those steels are harder. And if you had to use them like a pry bar to open a fucking car door, they'd work. But really, at that point, something has gone so far wrong that I'm out of my depth anyway. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So,
right.
Survival.
See, I'm packed up for like I got to go stay with relatives, or I got to go stay in a shelter for a while. That's the way I look at it. Or worst case scenario, I got to go camp somewhere. But I'm not thinking, disappear into the woods and fucking. Society is ended. That's not why I pray. But some people do, and it's very entertaining to watch those people. Very fucking entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
You see somebody with a fucking basement full of just rice and beans and shit. It is amazing. I mean, you're not talking like a couple 100 pounds. You're talking about a few 1,000 pounds. And they're like, I just picked up some feed corn. And they're like packing it in fucking those 20-gallon buckets. And what they'll do is they'll take these big fucking Mylar bags, put the corn in, throw in some of those oxygen absorbers that you get in medication bottles. They'll save that shit up and pour a bunch of them in there. They'll use like a vacuum cleaner to get all the air out, seal it up, seal the bag up, then heat seal the bag, and then fucking put the lid on the bucket and stick it in like their storage.
Yeah. So does the rice and beans just keeps indefinitely at that point?
I think you get between 10 and 15 years shelf life.
Well, okay.
Because if they're dried out enough. Because it's sort of like the beef jerky. If it's dry enough and you take away as much of the oxygen as you can, it won't rot for a really long time. It'll still be edible when you open it.
Yeah, okay.
You don't want
I'm just kind of curious.
So, like,
Go
ahead. What's the name? Jack Links, where they got that really chewy, sort of almost like it's not quite like beef jerky. It's
almost like nuggets. It's almost like little nuggets.
Things.
Yeah,
those won't keep as long as like the really dried out jerky you find at the off-brand at the grocery store.
Yeah, so like Slim Jims or Jack Links are not going to keep nearly as long as the shit that is the consistency of leather.
Take a chomp out of it, and then you sharpen it, and then you stab somebody with it.
Yeah.
It's food.
Yeah, exactly. Chew a knife shape out of your jerky.
If you haven't killed a man with your jerky, you ain't getting the right jerky.
Oh, man. This is just one of those things that fascinates me. I don't know what it is. I like James Jones. They're setting up FEMA camps. The globalists are going to turn the Bronx gay, to turn Kyrgyzstan into a gay country, boycott FEMA.
Yeah, that's prepper talk, man.
I can't how many people keep that Kekistani thing alive? Like, that was funny for like a week, maybe 2 weeks. But eventually, you just kind of got to let that joke go.
Yeah. No, it was hilarious for, like you said, a few weeks. And, yeah, they don't want to let it go. Like, dude, you're actually treating it like you really thought it was going to happen at this point if you're still fucking keeping it on.
You're going to make a Kekistan.
Damn it, Kekistan will never die. Kekistan will never die.
It's the meme that will never die.
Hundu. You guys hear about the latest Hundu thing?
Hundu?
That's, what's his name? Shia Labeouf and his fucking flag. He keeps moving, keeps getting found and stolen and shit. So he fucking had his flag somewhere, and some motherfucker rigged a drone to light it on fire. Because they couldn't get into the building to get to it. And there was no safe way to climb across other rooftops to get to it. So in the middle of the night, and you can find video online, I'm not going to show you. I don't know how to make videos work right. Online of this fucking thing for like 5 minutes trying to light the goddamn flag on fire, just shooting out little jets of flame at it and shit.
That's fucking awesome.
It's amazing.
Dude, Shia gets so fucking enraged, dude. It's amazing.
Dude,
if he would just laugh it off one time, they'd probably leave him alone, dude.
Exactly. That's all you would have to do. He's going to end up fucking hospitalized, man. That dude's going to end up in a fucking psych ward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's definitely like in a prolonged nervous breakdown, dude.
Well, did you see him like going off in that fucking like bowling alley?
Yeah. I don't think I've seen the bowling alley one.
Oh, he goes off in this bowling alley yelling at these black dudes about them being like reverse racist or some shit. He just starts screaming about French fries and milkshakes. I'm not sure what it's all about, but
wow.
Friends had to drag him out because it looked like he was going to get beat.
Wow.
People that were like, we're not going to be putting up with this much longer, Mr. Famous Boy.
Right. Yeah, we like Transformers. That's why your ass isn't already kicked. But you better get the fuck out of here.
So Englehart is going out in 5 minutes, just to let you know.
Yeah, shit. Oh, dude, I gotta use the restroom then real quick. He's leaving in 5 minutes. I'm gonna step away for like 5 minutes.
Cool.
All right, man. All right, and I'm gonna mute myself this time like a professional. All right, let him.
Take it in and film it, dude. You think Shia LaBeouf is a troll, James? That's entirely possible. Maybe he could just be playing it up just to keep in the news.
Because you see a lot of like back and forth. You know, what was it? The song about like the murderous Shia
actual
LaBeouf.
Cannibal,
yeah, actual cannibal. Like when they did a whole theatrical performance of that song, and at the end of it, he's literally in the audience like clapping, doing the whole thing. So yeah, obviously, probably everyone knows that.
Well, that was a good-natured kind of thing. That wasn't really like.
And that's the thing. That's where the troll part is. It's like you don't know whether he's being he'll take something super serious, or he's actually just trying to play it up. Because we don't know, and only he knows. And it's like, so
he did that weird thing.
He could probably have seen something like that and go like, you know, hey, this might actually be upsetting to me, or he's just trying to play that part because this is what the internet's going to do when they see me do this. They're just
for sure.
go into a frenzy.
Well, but he also did that weird thing where he like sat in a room and didn't talk and just let people come in and do whatever.
Yeah.
And then that was the one when he claimed he got raped. And it's like, you're not tied up and nobody's making you be quiet. You can just walk out the room. You know, like you don't have to stay in the room and let this girl fuck you. That seems a little odd to me. And then,
I mean, he also might be crazy.
Well, and then there was one where he met this chick in a hotel room and they were doing a modern art piece together. Mm-hmm. And they literally just had the head cams on, and all they did was come in and sit down and stare at each other for 8 fucking hours without talking. Yeah, that was one of his art pieces. So I think he might actually be nuts. I'm just saying. Or at this point, it's so fucking... Oh, what do you call it? Oh, there was a video of Shia and 2 other people doing all the things for publicity stunts. Oh, man, he's really good then, because some of the shit he does is out there. That's fucking awesome. Respect. He's straight up, he's just trolling. Respect, because he's doing good.
Yeah. My original thought, straight up, called it.
If that's all troll, then he's fucking
Dude,
good,
I've
man.
known you for this long, and you're a huge troll.
Oh yeah, but I'm honest about it. You know, at least,
Exactly. But with something like that, it's pretty on point.
yeah.
Like there's some crazy shit that some people end up doing, but you know, him being a troll wouldn't make a lot of sense.
So now we got to get a hotel room and stare at each other for like 8 hours without
Yes.
talking, right?
Yes. That's what we have to do. That is the next step for Untitled Studios, is to all meet up. No, we got to get Daytwa on this too. Is that we all meet up in a hotel room and just stare at each other.
There is a
Not
dude.
say a word.
There's a dude who makes videos like that on YouTube. I can't remember his name, but Daytwa told me about him. And he literally, all of his videos are just him staring at the camera for like 5-6 hours. Or longer, like 8 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours. And there's been times when he's like pissed himself and he just sits there and stares at the camera. No words, nothing, no explanation. And he's got a huge following because people watch him.
Is it like an anticipation thing?
I don't know.
Maybe you sit there and like, maybe if I sit there and watch it forever and ever and ever,
Like something might happen.
like something might happen. I'll be the one that was there to see it happen. You know, like that kind of thing. Like that would be that's pretty ingenious.
James Johnson sounds like my Saturday nights.
Sit there, stare at the camera.
Oh man, you have as much of a social life as me, man. That's great. Just look it up. Oh God, I got to get out of my house more. Oh, sweet, sweet internet, you are entertaining, but maybe you are not the only thing out there.
It's not my only true love. It's
Could
not
be.
my only thing. Except for when it comes down to internet and or gaming, I have stumbled myself onto Assassin's Creed Origins.
Any kind of game.
And
I like them all.
And I will say I'm not a huge fan of a lot of Assassin's Creed games. Played through the first one, played through the 3, Assassin's Creed 2 games. Played a little bit of Black Flag. Didn't really touch a lot of the other ones between that.
Yeah.
Thankfully. But this one, pretty on point.
Nice.
I played the crap load out of Unity too, and that was hot garbage. Like
I've
I
never played
struggled.
any.
I struggled. It was one of the first true actually interesting way of doing multiplayer ones.
Okay.
Like I actually really liked the multiplayer on that when it was working. But it's like that was such a hot dumpster fire when it came down to functionality. Like it either worked perfectly well or it was choppy as shit. And
I've never played any of them, so I don't have any experience. But yeah, it's the worst when the game doesn't work.
Yeah.
For multiplayer, especially.
Like this is like the basic functions of a game. It just would not work. And so when you come off of that, and then I played Syndicate as well, where it's like that's interesting. I like that concept. But this one, spot on. I can get behind it. I playing the shit out of it. It's a good one.
Yeah.
And actually a half decent story. Like
okay, that's
still
a big part.
bastardizing history like Assassin's Creed does.
Yeah.
But like they still was having some stuff that's kind of wonky.
I don't think they've ever claimed to be like historically accurate though.
No, not completely.
Yeah.
So still doing it pretty well. I like it. I like the era they used Egypt way back when, like ancient Egypt.
Oh yeah.
This time around, and I think they're doing pretty good with that so far. So it's like if you're looking for, you see the next Assassin's Creed game, you're like cringing by the hearing the title Assassin's Creed. It's got an angle stamp of approval for sure on this one.
This will be like our only video game review on this show.
Yeah. Totally.
Right on, man.
So, hey, you got to do it at some point. We started out playing video games.
True, that's true. We do a whole bunch of old Minecraft
our
videos
very
on
first
the channel.
videos were Minecraft gameplay. So at some point, I'll bring it back. I'm gonna dig it out and try to bring back the video game section that once was Untitled Studios.
You are welcome to it. I think I am not into recording the games anymore. I want to play the games, but
just don't want to do the
editing. I am terrible at.
I respect that.
Let's do a review of Pong, dude. Go back as far as possible.
Go back in history.
Oh man,
the world that is Pong.
the next PewDiePie with Pong. That shit would be hilarious. We'll just scream and yell.
This is amazing.
We'll just we'll strap the up arrow to one of we'll just get 2 dogs, and on one of their paws they'll each have the up arrow, and on the other paw they'll have the down arrow. So it'll move around just randomly as they walk around and shit. And then they'll play together, play against each other. And we'll just scream and pretend we're playing.
Yeah.
The game journalist mode, dude. If any company ever puts a game journalist difficulty setting on a game, I'm gonna buy every game they make for the remainder of their existence. That'd be fucking hilarious, dude. They're like, all right, we got hard, easy, novice, and then game journalist mode.
Game journalist mode, you just see a little bit of the story in the end.
Right. It's essentially a let's play. It just plays through the game automatically. You can hold the controller and pretend you're playing.
Oh man, I like James's advice. We just become the next PewDiePie because all we just whenever we lose, we just say nigger.
Yeah. Just say what a fucking nigger every time, dude.
Yeah, I'm not.
You're not gonna say it. You will not say that word, will you?
Nope.
Fair enough.
I'm good.
Oh man, are you worried somebody's gonna get you?
I just don't want to touch that one. I can still actively make a choice to say a lot of dumb shit or say a lot of borderline things. I've done that. I've I've toted that line.
So what about spick or chank or? Really
trying to stay away from stuff like that. At least one of us has to.
What about cracker? You gotta be able to say cracker.
That's the hard part. It's I can't. I should probably try to keep everything blanketed, unless I'm talking about crackers.
Unless you're talking about actual crackers.
Because saltines are delicious.
These fucking white crackers are delicious.
That is dedicated. You're like, I'm not even I'm white. I don't even own that one.
And the thing is, it is just to keep it true blue, consistent.
Mm-hmm.
You know. It is what it is, but it's not like I'm gonna hold myself from not swearing. This is Let's be reasonable here.
Oh,
I'll drop my fair share of F-bombs and other bullshit. So.
Oh yeah. One of these days we're gonna get him. He's just not gonna remember. He's not gonna get it. Wait, let's see here. Oh, we just work on the soundboard here. We're gonna record it. We got some N sounds from you. And some
they're gonna morph together. It's gonna be the most amount of editing Savvy has ever done in his life. And it's to butcher up the different words and letters I use in my speech to form me saying terrible words.
You're like,
Close enough. It'll be all slow, like nigger at the end. It'll be all fast, dude.
Okay, what about porch monkey? Can you say porch monkey? Oh man, that was good.
You joked. He looked or sounded like he was holding his breath. He's like, he's gonna say it.
Oh, man.
I'm so happy.
Oh, he said the video games do have a mode that lets you pass everything. It wouldn't surprise me if there's a fucking reviewer code so you can just see the story. You don't actually play the game and you can just get your review done, but you know enough about the story that they'll think you did it.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
This happened. I'm like, oh, the only reason you know that is because you played the game, right?
Yeah, exactly. I can see it.
I watched it happening. Yeah, I don't know, man. I get pissed off. I get angry whenever the fucking the game is if I fail something a few times, it's like, would you like to skip or would you like to put it on an easier difficulty? I'm like, fuck you, asshole. I'm fucking beating this shit. And game journalists are like, it's too hard. Yeah.
Whereas I'm the one who's like, easier mode? Yes, please.
No, I get angry when I see it. When that's suggested, dude, I fucking get angry, dude. I just get more determined to beat it on whatever difficulty I have it set on, dude.
That's probably a healthier attitude.
Yeah. Well, yeah, to a point. at a certain point.
Are you ready to take over for us for a couple minutes?
All right. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And see, this will be a part that I'm not watching, so that means I'm gonna have to come back to this point and see what you did.
Yeah, no. Yeah, as soon as you leave, I'm gonna tell them the truth about you, dude.
At about an hour 40.
Okay, I will kick back in about. Wow, we're at an hour 40. Awesome. I will have to kick back in, and I will have to check it.
Hey,
I want to know what happens.
You know what? We should check that out at some point.
Yeah, I'm totally down for that. All right, so it's been a pleasure. I'll probably end up in the comment section, a little, about like 30 minutes, just for like a short time. So I'll probably just go bug the shit out of you guys then.
Yeah. Right on, brother. It was good chatting with you, as always.
Peace out, Engelhart.
Catch you later.
We're going to win our audience of like 2 people, and I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, if you guys have anything that you can think of to talk about, if not, I'm going to have to go to my little suggestion thingy here. Let's see what I have on here. Yeah, that's not it. Wow, some of these are really old. Joss Whedon, no. Cuban Sonic Attack. All right, that's fucking old. All right. Yeah, I don't know if I've talked about this on stream, but I kind of wonder if people like Bering, Sargon, etc., if they just started completely ignoring Steve Shives, Christy Winters, and all these people, do you think they would just completely lose their relevance altogether? Because it seems like responding to them at this point is really the only thing that's keeping them relevant at all. I don't know if we've talked about this on here or not, but I kind of wonder about that shit. Because it seems like, based on their viewership of like Steve Shive's channel and all them, it really seems like nobody's watching their shit. Other than the back and forth, they get a little bit of spike when they're talking about Sargon or Bering or somebody. But a lot of their other videos, they struggle to get like maybe 1,000 or 2,000 views. So it seems kind of disproportionate considering what their ultimate influence is to continue to respond to them. Yeah. I appreciate it, Stench Ever. And that's, yeah, I don't get why they're not really saying anything new. It's pretty much the same old bullshit. Yeah, it's essentially the same shit, and you're responding to them like they're relevant, and they're really not. They're just idiots, dude. They really just say the same shit over and over again. I mean, Shives actually felt the need to put a fucking anti-Nazi thing, it's a little fucking pin in his cap, dude. Like, hey, I really don't like Nazis, like fucking everybody else does. But anyways, I mean, there's no discourse there, man. It really does seem ridiculous to even bother with them anymore. Yeah, I don't even like Tim. I don't know about Demotivator or whatever. He just seems like a disingenuous prick to me. I mean, he's at least willing to talk, but he's still. I don't even want to talk to that. I wouldn't even be interested in talking with that guy. He's kind of a jackass too. Kevin Logan, the only time I'd interacted with him was I didn't interact with him directly, but he was in a chat for a stream. I think it was for Tim's cat or something. I forget who did it. Tim's cat was sick or something, and fucking Kevin Logan came off really fucking creepy. Like the shit he was saying, I was like, this is that typical male feminist, like fucking Joss Whedon or fucking these other fuckers who preach this feminism shit and are fucking basically just using it to try to get laid and try to get away with fucking harassing chicks, dude. It was really creeping me out. Yeah. You back?
I am back.
All right, cool.
You mentioned Bill Wheaton.
Yeah, well, no, I was talking about what I was asking them, like whether they think Bering, Sargon, and all these people continuing to respond to people like Shives and Christy Winters, Kevin Logan, and all these guys, whether that's really the only thing keeping people like Shives and them relevant.
Yeah. Oh yeah. that they keep each other relevant.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Although I mean, Sargon and Bering and them are still going to kind of have a following. I think much more. They're going to get a lot. They'll still get a lot more views than. I mean, if you looked at what Steve Shives gets on the videos, on a vast views for a vast majority of his videos, he struggles to hit like 1,000 or 2,000 on a vast majority of his videos. You know, he's got like 50,000 subscribers, but none of them are fucking watching his videos. You know, unless he says something about Trump. That's it, dude.
Yeah, of course. There's always Trump.
Yeah, and Christy Winters is the same thing, dude. And hardly anybody's watching it unless she says something about Sargon or them, dude.
Well, it's the super loud minority, essentially. You know, like I think there's a fair portion of definitely a fair portion of like the extremist left people on the YouTube that they're only relevant because they're being talked about by the right wing.
Right.
I think there's also a lot of views that some of those channels are only getting because they're doing the hit pieces.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have much of a channel.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, but it's still, one side's still getting a fucking tremendous amount of views relative to, you know, what the idiots are getting. One side is more
popular. One side is more popular. I don't think they're going to like go away.
Right.
I just think you're looking at like probably a 10% decrease in views. You know, not enough to shut them down, but like you can look at the progression over the life of the channel.
Right.
You know, like it starts off with criticizing ideas, and then eventually it just becomes hit pieces on people.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. The horseshoe thing is definitely in full effect at this point, dude. Or not quite full effect, because they're not quite getting into the deplatforming in that. But that's really the only difference is the no deplatforming and not a huge amount of doxing going on from the right.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's really not much difference at this point, dude.
But it's still like this weird ideology that's sort of grown up. This sort of ideology and in-group, out-group kind of thinking that's sort of been appearing in the right wing, at least from what I've seen.
Yeah, James Jones said, I found Bering content boring. I do now too, actually, dude.
Yeah,
I used to be a huge Bering fan. I thought he was hilarious, and he still is. He's still decent, I guess. But yeah, there's plenty of times when I'm just like, I don't feel like watching this fucking video.
I'll never,
a while back.
Be a big YouTuber.
Chris Worski. All right, I hate Andy too much. I think is probably why I can't get on board with Chris. You know, because I used to be an Andy fan, but Andy is fucking. Well, even when I liked Andy, I never really viewed him as anything but a fucking clown. You know, honestly. You know,
I lost a lot of respect when he pulled that bullshit. I forget what stream it was in, but he was doing the "Do you know who I am?" bullshit.
No,
as if that was relevant to the argument, and it wasn't.
That is fucking awful, dude. Yeah, and like I said, them blocking me from his channel just because I said something like, "Yeah, it's kind of cowardly if you're not willing to fight. If you're really saying you won't do anything, in the name of freedom." Like, you're just not going to do anything that might get you in trouble or even inconvenience you, And I basically said it was kind of cowardly. And then next time I'm on the stream, and that wasn't even on his channel, dude. And then next time I listen to one of his live streams, I'm blocked from chatting, dude. I was like, holy shit, dude. That's fucking ridiculous, man.
Too bad. But, this is Andy is gay. So Chris Worski is good. Does Chris Worski have his own separate channel?
Yeah, does he actually do his own separate one?
Because that might be interesting.
But Chris never even calls out Andy either. Well, I guess he really couldn't, but yeah.
No, I'm always willing to give somebody a listen, man. I'm just because I may not like the person they do their videos with normally. If they have their own thing, I'll give it a listen.
Yeah, but no, I think, like I said, Noel Plum kind of nailed it when he said, like, hey, if you've seen one Andy Worski video, you've pretty much seen them all.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same shit.
I got Jeff going back and forth a little bit. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, was it about
super easy
Candace?
to get angry? I pissed him off enough that he made a little fucking Twitter video at one point.
Yeah. Oh wow, nice.
He's super easy to rile up.
Yeah, he is pretty ridiculous. I used to be a huge Jeff Holiday fan too, but yeah, I've definitely seen the hypocrisy and the fucking bullshit from him too. Yeah, I definitely stopped following him. Wizard of Cause, same thing. I couldn't. Yeah, the YouTube Saints. I really couldn't watch it anymore, dude. Because Wizard of Cause, fucking, dominates and fucking, dominates the conversation. Jeff, I don't know if he still does this or if they've cooled out on this, but it seemed like every time Wizard made any kind of fucking joke, Jeff would laugh hysterically like it was the funniest fucking thing that anybody ever said, regardless of how funny it was, dude.
I think that's because Jeff was always drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think people were wrong when they said he was a straight up alcoholic.
Right.
I think him and Wizard are both like.
Are other people saying that? I mean, I said it like a while back, or I said it was possible. Like, obviously, I don't.
A lot of people have said it, and I think somebody actually tried to call it child welfare.
Oh wow. Yeah, no, like I said, it's I'm fucking in recovery myself, and his story of somebody that had issues with drugs early in life but did away with that and only drinks, that's a very common story in AA, dude, where they end up becoming alcoholics. They just did away with all the other drugs, and now they're fucking alcoholics.
And then they finally have to come to terms with, like, maybe I just shouldn't drink either.
Right. Yeah.
I just can't do drugs.
Yeah, because he's showing the same kind of arrogance that people who are active in their addiction, arrogance and fucking stubbornness and that kind of shit. Show. Yeah. Wizard bad jokes.
That's more original than all of Wizard's humor.
Yeah, Jeff used to be good though, man. Or maybe it's just me, but he used to be pretty decent, man. But yeah, it's gone way downhill, man.
I think Jeff is entertaining right up until you realize that it's all pay for play.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Apparently, he'll be your friend if you're paying enough on Patreon, dude.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't want to hang out with Jeff. I don't want to have a conversation with the dude.
Yeah.
Even though just from an audience perspective, it's a little creepy.
Yeah, I like Memory. I like his wife. She tells pretty decent stories on her channel about her hippie days, dude.
Yeah, she's got some kicking videos, definitely.
Yeah.
She did an interview with this one chick who was just out of her fucking mind. It was really entertaining.
Yeah, Rags. I like Rags. But his videos are goddamn long, dude. Holy shit! Any of his videos, like if it's like 28 minutes, that's considered a short video for him, dude.
Is he like a skeptic or?
Yeah, he's pretty much in the same kind of general area, but he's good. I just can't sit through that long of fucking videos. He's pretty entertaining, but he's not 30 minutes or 40 minutes entertaining. Like, it's just like
Well, most of the stuff that I watch, I just listen to while I'm gaming, so it doesn't have to be like the best thing I've ever heard. It's got to be something interesting. I got to learn something from it.
Yeah, Rags is all right. He'd be worth checking out, I think. I'm not going to guarantee you're going to love him, but I think he's all right. And what do you think of Rags, James Jones? The Wizard of Bad Jokes is fucking still getting me, dude. Yeah. Plus, Wizard of Cause still constantly LARPing Hunter S. Thompson, dude. Like, dude, exactly like Hunter S. Thompson, dude.
Yeah, except without any class or style.
yeah. Without the he kind of is good at projecting that persona, but not actually pulling it off. It's weird. Like he acts like super confident and all that, but then he's just kind of like, just not that interesting, dude. I just think
him and Jeff are super alcoholic, and then it's like,
it
gets uncomfortable after a while because I've grown up, with my dad who's an alcoholic, so there's certain.
So it fucking hit really hard for you. Yeah, no, they both seem to romanticize it a lot.
That's the part I can't listen to.
yeah. They really seem to romanticize their potential alcoholism.
Whereas, like,
which if you're a Hunter S. Thompson fan, that's almost inevitable.
Oh, what's his name? On the cunt stream, the guy that runs the cunt stream. Why can't I think of his name? Schmeckel. Schmeckel's like, I'm an alcoholic and it's fucking killing me and I need to stop. He at least doesn't try to pretend it's anything other than what it is.
Right. Yeah, I've never heard him do that, but oh fuck, that sucks.
Oh, there's a couple times he's gone off. He's like, the stuff that comes out of me is not healthy, and I need to see a doctor.
Wow. Yeah. Is he pissing fruit smelling piss yet? Bruises showing up on his body when he hasn't been hit or run into anything.
He claims he hasn't had a solid shit in like years.
Damn, dude.
It's hard to
tell him to switch over to opiates, dude. He'll have the exact opposite problem.
Just eat Opal's food. Opal's food is actually pretty good.
No. I said opiates, dude.
Oh, opiates. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Opiates will fucking bind your ass up, dude. Yeah, well, that and the tinnitus is probably not helping, right?
Well, no, it's the wireless headphones. I'm getting used to the way they sound. They're a little different sounding than my regular headphones.
Oh, gotcha. Skeptic clones.
Can that I'm just adjusting to.
Oh, okay. Skeptic clones. Yeah. Don't get me started. Oh, wait. Do you like Armored Skeptic then, James Jones? Because I hope not. Because that was another one that I was a huge fan of that's really gone south.
Oh, that's much better. I got to get a better set of wireless headphones.
See what I did there? I used skepticism to... Yeah, sorry. I actually cringe for the guy every time I think about that shit, dude.
You know, he's going to go on to doing his thing, man. Whatever. I don't...
Yeah.
I mean...
No, he's coasting on what, his fan base, because his fan base is pretty goddamn rabid, and his content's been shit for a long time, dude. Well, actually, I haven't followed it in a long time, but I just know it got fucking really shitty before I stopped following him. Like, you're incredibly lazy and you're incredibly arrogant.
I want to make a list. Like, I want to make a list of channels and somehow remind myself in 20 years just to see where they're at and if they're still doing shit.
Right.
Because I'm just so curious as to where YouTube is going to go.
Yeah,
is
that's
it going
kind of
to
interesting.
stay or is it going to just fall apart? And, like, are these people going to ride the fucking, like, who's going to ride the rocket to the ground? And who's going to, like, move on to the next platform? Is there going to be another platform even remotely close to YouTube?
I'm kind of curious how you can, if they can actually keep up, like, I don't want to say delusional, but, well, I guess it is. Like, how does that fan base stay that rabid? It cannot possibly stay that rabid for that long. Yeah, like, where they don't realize, they're like, holy shit, I've been listening to this guy for years, and he's fucking sucked for the last 10.
Well, and the thing is, at a certain point, it's they're not making money from ads. They're making money from people that are just giving them free money.
Yeah. Right. And so they're kind of beholden to that. Like, they can't change. They got to keep spewing out the same bullshit that's going to keep their Patreon patrons happy.
Well, I'm sure there's like elite level Patreons who have more of a say in what kind of stuff they do because they donate like hundreds of dollars a month or stuff like that.
Yeah. So Suit Yourself is still doing okay. Although he kind of jumped on the fucking Red Pill Black bandwagon too. Who deleted that?
I didn't.
Was that you sent to her? No, did he retract it himself then?
Yeah, retracted means he took it back.
No. Well, I like Suit Yourself, dude. He's okay. Like I said, he jumped on the Red Pill Black witch hunt, but
that's the only thing I think of him I don't like. So
right. Yeah, no, I think he was genuine. I don't think he was, but yeah, I think he jumped the gun with everyone else. I still really, honestly, because I know I'm the one that turned you on to Red Pill Black, I'm still not sure about her myself. It's weird. Like, you're like hardcore supporter of hers, and now I'm kind of like, I'm not sure, dude.
Not that I'm hardcore supporter. Hold on a second. Let me clear my throat. Mute first. That was a bad one. It's not so much that I'm a hardcore supporter of Red Pill Black. I'm not a huge fan of hers. But I really don't like the way the community has jumped the gun with virtually zero evidence, and that really pisses me off.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm going at people hard because it's like, look, you really don't have the evidence you think you do. These are suppositions and people's opinions that they've presented to you as facts.
Yeah,
but they're not actually based in any kind of research or actual facts. There's nothing to trace them back to.
Yeah, that's like you were saying, that it really looked like it was just a seeding thing and it wasn't legitimate.
Yeah, the only thing they ever
fully
found
functional
106
site.
pictures and with names attached that were publicly available on Facebook that they probably just skimmed off of Facebook or picked people they knew or friends of friends or things like that. But
yeah, because if it was functional, there's no way that's all that would be in there. Is the way I look at it. I'm like, dude, if it was actually actively pulling shit for this many years now, you know, a year and a half or a year, whatever, it would have a lot more.
Between a year and a year and a half, somewhere between a year and a year and a half. Well, here's the thing. So Jeff did his video before Suit Yourself did his, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and Jeff put in a bunch of stuff about Candace Owens in his video, entered it into the thing, and got the email because it just has an automated feature. It's not necessarily taking the data anywhere.
Right.
But when Suit Yourself looked in there and found the data, he pointed out that Candace Owens stuff was in there, but it was just her picture and her name, and none of the other
none of the shit that Jeff put in is actually posted on there. Yeah,
it wasn't there. So that right there just kind of lends you to think like, oh, maybe this isn't really something that got entered in. This is just something.
And that is actually kind of what she said. I don't know, man. There's something weird about her, man. She does kind of act like an SJW a little, so I guess that's what kind of throws me. But I think she actually said that. She's like, well, it took one person. And then, you know, people actually assume that Jeff did his shit when he didn't really do it. Did his research, and it kind of builds on itself. Tree of Logic.
Tree of Logic was the one that started it. So
yeah. So they're like, oh, Tree of Logic wouldn't lie about it. Oh, Tree of Logic and Jeff wouldn't lie about it. You know, and they probably didn't check his videos.
When you watch Tree of Logic's videos, there's no hard evidence. It's just I have evidence, but she doesn't show any of it.
Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah.
If you don't show me the evidence, I'm not going to believe you have it.
Right.
I'm sorry, you can't just. I'm not just going to take your word.
Why would you say I have evidence and then not present the evidence?
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense, dude.
And I could still be wrong. Let me clarify. I could still be wrong. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong.
Yeah. That's the other thing.
Where the evidence doesn't show.
That's the other thing that bugs me is the certainty of these people. You know, based on some pretty flimsy evidence, or I think Tree of Logic might just be sour grape. She's like, no, I'm the conservative black chick.
I think it's high school bullshit. So I think one of the things we're going to be seeing a lot more of, and Candace is a demonstration of it early on. People can change their beliefs, but it's a lot harder to change your methodology, the way you think.
Right, the way you operate.
So if you are stuck in these patterns of behavior like a social justice warrior, and those thought patterns of like always being the victim, always blaming people, there's a conspiracy out to get you, just because you stop believing in the liberal or the left, the super extremist left-wing stuff, doesn't mean that the way you process information is going to change. It just means that your one little
that's a lot more
beliefs has changed.
That's a lot more ingrained. That's a lot harder to counteract. Man.
That's the part that's going to be a lot harder to break. Maybe it isn't just a conspiracy of people getting all paid by somebody to get you, like it was when you created the site.
Yeah. Although that did remind me, I can't remember who you got into a little Twitter thing off of with. It was off of a comment you made to Jeff.
Oh yeah,
someone else you were going rounds with. I forget who it was, but they were basically saying like, no, she doesn't have any integrity, or she doesn't. What did you say? She doesn't have any.
Oh yeah, she doesn't have any integrity because she did this thing like a year and a half ago and changed her mind.
Yeah,
he was legit saying like, oh, you steal before you learn stealing is wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, it was actually you were kind of done with it because I was about to comment, and I'm like, when I was younger, I used to hate gay people because they were gay, and now I don't anymore. Like,
I have a buddy like
that. Does that mean I don't have integrity, or is it something that it was kind of ingrained or learned wherever, and then I realized it was stupid?
His thing is basically original sin. You're stained with this original sin, and then you're never clean again. You're always
yeah. The last thing that he did was say that 28 followers, LOL, and I'm like, oh yeah. Because I was about to comment back, like, really, motherfucker? That's your argument now, is that he doesn't have enough followers to be right?
Well, and the funny thing is, on my other Twitter, I have almost as many followers as that dude does. But at the end of the day, who fucking cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I was just like, holy shit, you're getting worse and worse, buddy. And like I said, I was about to get in on it, and then I was like, well, it's been a few hours since even Stabby said anything, so I'm like,
when he started going there, I was just like, all right, this guy's done. He doesn't have an argument to save his life. And I'm not a fan of Red Pill Black. She strikes me as very sort of like just in it for the cash. She's gonna make a career out of this, and then I think that becoming a Republican is genuine. Right. I just don't think she takes it as deep and as seriously as a lot of the skeptics do. I think she just sees a market, and her beliefs align with that market, and she's like, hey, here's a really good opportunity to push my political agenda, make some money, and create a career that's something I want to do.
Right.
And so she sort of strikes me as similar to Whitey, just where it's just about getting the money and getting the views.
Yeah, yeah.
Richard Spencer was behind the smear campaign. I don't know, man. She's like, let me say, I don't think she's some evil doxing queen, but she said some stupid fucking shit.
Yeah.
The whole thing started.
She's definitely not handling shit well either, and that's part of the problem. Blocking people.
I'll give her a little bit of a room, but she should issue a couple of apologies on some of the accusations she's been upset. I don't think she should apologize for the website. I really don't.
Yeah, no. Like I said, I think she had a personal experience that seriously influenced her, and she wanted to do something that she thought was the right thing to do. It was, again, and you've admitted, it's a horrible idea. It was fucking going to get abused. Yeah. Regardless of what she says, because she's still trying to. We'll see on Tuesday. Because she's trying to say that there's no way it could have turned into doxing, and she's like, "I'll explain everything on Tuesday." This is from today's. Like she's trying to say that there was no way that would have ended up being able to dox people.
Yeah, she should stick with what I've heard her say before, and I totally agree with what you're saying. I'm just saying what I heard her say before was that she was naive, and it was a good idea at the time. Like she had never intended it for it to become a doxing site, but once she realized what it was, that was part of what changed her mind.
Yeah, she wasn't really talking like that tonight, dude.
So I mean, the story's changing. I'm sure. See,
that's the other thing that's bugging me is she's not really staying consistent with shit, dude.
Well, she could be lying. Like I said, man, I could be wrong. She could be.
Well, I don't know. I think she's going with whatever sounds best to her at the time, dude, and it's like I don't know what the truth is anymore.
Yeah, well, this is really the social justice warrior always backpedal.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing she was claiming is that she was never an SJW. That's what she said tonight. She was never an SJW, and that her parents always said that she was a conservative and waiting.
So she's been consistent in saying she was never super left wing. She just worked with a lot of left wing people and thought that they were like the people she was going to get the most help from when she wanted to stop the bullying.
No, okay.
So that's been consistent.
Okay, I got you.
She always had conservative views. She just never associated them with being a Republican because her parents were super Democrat kind of thing. But
yeah, so it'll be interesting. I actually do want to watch. I haven't watched. I think I finally just unsubscribed from Dave Rubin because there's so many videos where I was just like, I don't feel like watching that.
James Jones, where did she have a list of places that you work in schools? Like, where did you see that? Because I've yet to see anybody actually show evidence of that. I've heard a lot of people make claims, but I've never seen anything to show any evidence of that other than the only thing I've seen is the archive of the names and pictures that were on the site. So I'm always open-minded, man. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll see. I think honestly, whatever happens Tuesday, although I wish it was somebody besides Blair White.
Blair White's really nice. Right? Yeah. If it was anybody, I'd love to see it be like, like Sargon or something. Yeah. Who's going to approach it like very like cool and calm and not going to just start yelling.
Yeah, I'd probably rather see Jeff than fucking Blair White. Well, I don't want to go that far. Never mind.
I don't think Jeff would yell, though. I think he would just be, like, super smug.
Yeah.
See, now, here's the thing I think that gets confused. It's confusing a lot of people, and people are using as evidence is the old advertisements she put up on, what's that funding site she had it on originally?
Kickstarter?
Yeah, on Kickstarter. She had a bunch of commercials that said what the website was going to have.
Yeah.
It's like, it has this and this and this and this, and it wasn't done yet. It was just like, this is basically a list of shit that it will eventually have.
Mm.
And that's just the way you make videos for Kickstarter. You try to show what the product will eventually do if you don't already have the product made. And that's one of those things you got to watch for on Kickstarter, by the way, when you're looking at shit, is don't fund shit that ain't already made.
Right.
They don't have a prototype that works well. They'll never have a finished product, probably, and you'll probably run your money away.
Yeah.
So that's just a general rule of thumb on Kickstarter. If they've already got a product, yeah. See, James, the thing was, you can submit it, but you don't necessarily know when you click the button if it just sends an email as a standard part of the testing routine, or if the data actually went anywhere. And nothing shows me that the data went anywhere. Because when you looked at Jeff Holliday's video, he put a bunch of data in on Candace Owens. And then later, when Suit Yourself came out with his later, after the fact, and did that backdoor search through Google that got you to the pages in the site that you shouldn't have been able to access regularly, it showed her picture and name, but it didn't show any of the stuff that Jeff had entered. Mm-hmm. So to me, that says, you know what, it probably was just pictures and things testing the search and recovery function.
Right.
Like, when you're testing, like, if I put in a name, is it going to pop out the right picture? Mm-hmm. When you're starting to test the framework of the website.
Yeah, because there's no way that, like you said, there would only be 105, 106 over this period of time. Even if it wasn't advertised at all, like I would imagine people would stumble across it and put some shit in, dude. And it would be way more than 106, dude.
From April of 2016 until now is over a year.
Yeah, it's basically a year and a half. Yeah.
So it's about a year and a half. You would think the website would be fully functional by now if it was still going to be implemented. Like, I don't think she would have waited a year and a half.
Yeah.
There'd be no reason to wait. Because if you really believed in that, the sooner you could get it up and running, the better. I just think she's maybe not the most fucking, like, she's not an intellectual.
Right.
She's not really a skeptic. I think she's just a right-wing ideologue. And I think she's approaching it with the same way she approached the social justice warrior stuff. I think she probably was a social justice warrior. Right. About that.
Yeah.
But she's approaching with the same way of thinking, and it's not going to work out as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Part of the in crowd, if she wouldn't suck Chris Reagan's dick like Lacey Green, she might have gotten a better, reception.
Yeah, and then Jeff would talk about how he's going to defend his friends that he's been friends with for so long. Yeah, that was the other thing that bugged me about Jeff is like, this is a friend of mine. Like, dude, you've known her, what, 2 months now at that point? Back when all the shit happened with Lacey Green, like, you have to vociferously defend somebody that you've known for a couple months.
The funny thing with Lacey Green was, like, she never claimed to be right wing.
Right.
She never claimed to be coming over to the other side, kind of anything.
Yeah.
She said she's willing to talk, and all these people were like, you need to answer for all of this. And it was like, well, that's not a way to start a dialogue, but good luck.
No, yeah. Like I said, the DMCA shit was fucking horrible, but yeah, that was the thing is...
I don't think she's a good person, but I'm glad that she's willing to have a discussion. That's better than nothing.
Yeah. No, and it was for her own, her channel was dying, and she did it for her own fucking reasons. It wasn't like
Chris Reagan.
Yeah. Yeah, she didn't suddenly become open-minded just naturally. It was, hey, my channel's dying. How can I stop my channel from dying?
Well, and people were going to find out that she's fucking Chris Reagan.
Yeah.
Like, he's not super big, but he's definitely well enough known that they know who he is. And that, part of the enemy. Mm-hmm. And my whole thing with the Red Pill Black was it's just more of the sort of divisive, let's create this fucking never-ending fucking chasm that we can never get across. You know what I mean? Like, we can never fucking heal this rift between these two political groups. Like, because we should have differing opinions.
Yeah.
It shouldn't devolve to the point where we're just standing on our own fucking side of this on side of this giant wall hurling insults.
Yeah, well, that's the problem is people viewing people they disagree with as enemies instead of just people they disagree with, dude. That's fucking sad. Like, dude, you just disagree. That's it. They're not Nazis. They're not the fucking enemy. They're just people that don't agree with what you agree with.
Yeah, if you're looking at like Gazi Kodzo, who actively preaches like the fucking genocide of white people, then yeah, that's an enemy.
Yeah, that guy's a fucking idiot.
Anybody rational, like.
Yeah, well, that guy's insane.
Politically.
Dude, there's got to be something wrong with that dude, man. Like,
yeah.
I imagine him ending up in a fucking 5150 situation sometime. You know,
in the near future.
Yeah, dude. Like that guy's fucking bonkers.
His family's got money. I think his family's got money, and that's the only way he keeps out of being 5150.
Right.
Generally, if you don't have money, you're not in that nice apartment, and you're not fucking able to keep making these videos and not in the Palm Street.
Yeah. Although I think I heard he worked in the fashion industry or something. Like he was a fucking designer or some stupid shit like that.
It takes those things. A lot of times, the difference between mentally ill and the hospital and mentally ill living on your own is money.
Right.
It's not about capability.
Yeah.
One of the things that bothers me about where I work is, man, everybody I've worked with could have a job, just about. I'd say maybe 10% couldn't work. Even if it's just like picking trash up on the side of the road. I honestly think
they can do something, dude.
They should be at least 6 hours of work a day.
Yeah, not necessarily customer-facing work, but yeah, they should be able to do something.
Oh, cleaning up parks, cleaning up roadways, helping like behind the scenes in stores and stuff, like moving stuff around from shelf to shelf, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Stuffing envelopes. There's all sorts of shit they could do.
Yeah. But I'm guessing,
and would earn money towards the amount of money that they're getting for free. And I think then they would respect it more, because nobody respects free money.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. I assume that has a lot to do with the state that you live in, dude, and just being like, oh, they got this, so they can't work. It's impossible.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. James Jones, I am in California, so believe me, I know how fucking ridiculous that shit gets, because it's damn close here. It's getting there. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's amazing, dude. I think this is a big part of the problem is people don't think their ideas through to what would actually happen in practice, dude. And that was my whole thing with communism. Yeah, when I was I think I was like a freshman, maybe a sophomore in high school, and really came across the idea of communism like in depth, and I was like, "This sounds fucking great!" Like elimination of the social classes and all this shit. Like, this sounds really good. But then again, I thought it through, and I'm like, there's no way this would fucking work. And I didn't even know about how bad, like the 5 million Ukrainians dying, and how many people fucking dying under communism. I was just like, this won't work, man. People aren't going to fucking bust their ass just for the pride of busting their ass if they're going to get paid the same. Or, there's so much shit wrong with it that should be obvious if you just put a little thought into it, dude.
I always thought of it when I was in high school. I always thought of it because you always get stuck in group projects with like a bunch of people that don't want to do work.
Yeah.
So if you're the smart kid, and I was the smart kid in high school, not anymore, but I was then, you end up doing all the work and the group gets all the credit.
Yeah.
And that's always like my sticking point for communism when I was learning about it in high school was always like, well, yeah, but what about those assholes that just don't want to work? They're just going to fucking collect free food that I made?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah. Yeah, not to mention that it seems like one of the tenets of communism is, okay, if we come in and communism takes over, whoever was doing well before that was doing something wrong, and they're bad people. Not they were working hard and busting their ass. They must have been doing something bad.
Yeah, you got to differentiate, because some people took advantage of the system and ripped people off, and some people genuinely earned what they have.
Yeah.
And you can't just go after everybody who has more than X amount of money and decide they're evil and just take all their money.
Yeah.
It's going to throw the whole system into utter fucking chaos. Like, even, I mean, you really can't go back after people now anyway. Like, you can start to adjust the system so it weeds out the people that are fucking everyone over.
Yeah.
You really just go through and accepting like lawsuits for, what was it, like Enron, where like they basically just ripped all the people's retirement money off of them and shit, like.
Yeah, that was fucking horrible.
Or like places when they catch them like insider trading and shit like that.
Yeah, exactly.
People like that, but you can't just. I mean, how are you gonna yeah, we got to respect the legal system here. People are innocent until you prove them guilty. You got to prove they committed a crime before you go out and take all their shit.
No, dude, I'm sorry. This is only tangentially related, but James Jones put one. The 4th was canceled due to starvation. You haven't really talked about the fact that the big revolution didn't happen.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, might be Antifa was the ones that shot up the church.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
The guy who shot up the church was Antifa. I'm seeing a lot of people have done the research, like 4chan tracked it down, kind of thing.
Oh, okay. But still, that would be the only thing then, basically.
So that might.
I'm saying that's not fucking horrible.
There is suspicion that they burned down a church.
Why are they going after churches, dude?
Why would they do that? That was one of the things they were supposed to go after when they were trading with ISIS.
Oh God, okay.
So I don't know if anybody believes that, but it supposedly was in some FBI reports that some of the people from ISIS and some of the people from Antifa met, and people from Antifa were trained by the ISIS operatives.
Oh, okay.
And they discussed like targets and stuff. So the ISIS would tell them to go after churches.
Okay.
The church was a landmark because it was the church that some historical figure went to. I didn't catch the article, unfortunately. I lost it before, because Twitter sometimes loads shit weird, and you like see the article and you're like, oh cool, and you're reading it, and then all of a sudden fucking it's down and you're like, oh, I should have clicked on the link while I saw it.
I gotcha. All right, yeah. Well, I was like, that doesn't make sense, and then I'm like, well, again, none of their shit does.
There's been a little bit of violence here and there, but not too bad.
Yeah.
And I think it's because everybody just sort of fucking ignored them.
Right.
The key with Antifa is the citizens shouldn't show up and do anything. Mm-hmm. If everybody right wing just stayed the fuck off the street, they would look so much more terrible, because they'd just be destroying shit for no reason.
Yeah. Like, don't show up and counter protest them or anything like that. Just let them stand out there and then start wrecking shit and not have a fucking reason to do it.
Alex Jones said the Vegas shooting was an Antifa attack. Yeah, well, Alex Jones was fucking mine. I love Alex Jones, but that dude is like, he regularly tears his shirt off and runs screaming out of the room about Satan and shit. So I'm not real clear. I'm not real into his like facts.
He gets a little. I was gonna say a little carried away, but yeah, and he definitely gets fucking
He's
nuts.
Very entertaining though.
Yeah, no, he is. He's charismatic, man. I want to believe all the shit he says, dude. I don't really follow him anymore, but he's like so like. There's something about him that's like, man, I fucking want to believe what you're saying, but it's insane.
He was pretty accurate when he was talking about like the deep state and globalism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he takes it too far to some ridiculous lengths, man. Although some of the shit that he said that sounded ridiculous is kind of, proven to be true a little bit. But some of it's so fucking out there, man.
Oh, yeah. James Jones, those are fash cans. Trademark de Trois Croix.
All right. I coined the phrase fash cans because we know trash cans are incredibly fascist by the way Antifa keeps attacking them.
It's interesting. One of the things when I was very young, not very young, but I was in my early 20s, just like 20, 21, I worked at an assembly place, and one of the girls I worked with was Cambodian. So I got to hear a lot of stories about like Khmer Rouge from people who, their family went through that shit.
Actually, lived through it. Yeah.
So like communism never appealed to me, because I was like, I've heard some shit, like real shit, fucking hip deep in fucking skulls shit. God
damn, dude, that's fucking crazy.
Khmer Rouge was one of the bloodiest fucking Holocausts ever, and it never gets talked about compared to because the Nazi one is one everybody talks about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's black people. Nobody cares, dude.
You mean Asian?
Yeah.
Khmer Rouge was in Cambodia.
Oh, I was thinking of Cameroon for some reason. I mixed up Cambodia. I somehow mixed up Cameroon with Cambodia. Okay, all right. No, I'm with you now, dude.
Yeah. Because not on top of the Khmer Rouge, you also had like Thailand coming in and trying to take some of their land, and there's other countries around them trying to take their land too.
Right.
So there was little bits of war sprinkled in and out. The whole thing just really fucking was brutal. And to this day, you go to Cambodia, you don't want to be wearing jewelry because they'll cut your fucking finger off to take your rings.
Jesus, dude.
It ain't super improved. Like when she would go back and visit, she'd like, I'll take toothbrushes, toothpaste, vitamins, calcium supplements. That's what my family really wants. They don't want like any sort of other gifts. They want shit they can use.
It's just gonna get taken from them anyway, along with their appendages.
Well, and she was only here because her husband had gained citizenship and it was an arranged marriage. Like her family and his family arranged for her to marry him.
Right. Oh yeah, I think you remember you telling us that like her husband treated her like shit.
She was kind of trying to like fucking turn me on to one of her sisters.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Nope. For me, man.
Yeah. Too much. The chicks here that are damaged goods have already fucked me up. Plus, that's real damaged goods.
Barely a fucking adult, and suddenly I'm going to get this person from another country who's going to need me to take care of them for at least a couple of years while they learn the language and
right.
Shit.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
I was still doing school and living with my folks. It was like working and going to school and living with my parents. I'm like, that shit ain't gonna fly.
Yeah.
Mom, Dad, I'm moving this Cambodian chick in that I made.
Yeah, come on. Me and my wife will live here with you. Yeah, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, there's nothing about that appeal.
Damn.
My parents might have gone for it. I'll be honest, they might have been okay with that shit if they got a grandkid out of it.
Jesus, dude.
I mean, they really want grandkids, and I don't think me, my brother, and my sister, or any of us are like, really not into having kids.
Oh wow! So none of you. Well, I know you didn't, but neither of your siblings have any kids either.
No, they're not really interested in it either.
Wow.
All three of us are just like, nah, we don't really want kids.
Damn.
I mean, if I got some chick knocked up, I would much rather deal with having a kid than like the abortion.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm not a fan of abortion, but I mean, I don't actively seek having a child.
Yeah. No, I never had any interest in it. And just, it happened.
Oh, but I'm in California though too, so you got to remember, like, you have a kid here, and shit goes south. You're paying like 80% of your fucking paycheck for the rest of your fucking life.
Yeah.
Like, you got to support both of them, regardless of whether or not they make more money. Or like the woman makes more money or any of that shit. Like, it don't matter. You're still giving them all your fucking money.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That's why. Yeah, the laws here have actually gotten pretty reasonable, man. Like, a couple years ago, I think it was 2014. They actually passed a law where, like, unless there's a legitimate reason why not, you're supposed to make a real effort to have both parents have equal time, and then pay, because the pay is actually based off how much time each one has the kids and how much you make, obviously, but it's a lot based on how much you actually have the kid. So now, it's gotten pretty goddamn fair compared to a lot of other places.
I'm all about taking care of the kid, but in California, it ends up being a lot about taking care of the woman.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous, dude. Yeah, it's really, California's pretty notorious for the bad divorce elements, bad alimony, bad child support, unfair, all that shit, dude.
Well, the thing is, like, if you're married to somebody in California and you get divorced, you got to give them money forever until they get married. So, and it's I think it's only if you've been married for a certain period of year.
Right.
A certain period, like, I think it's like if it's past 6 years or past 7 years or something like that. Until they get married again, you're required to pay spousal support, which would be up to like half of what you make.
Yeah, why would the woman ever get married again? Other than to have
a lot of cases, the women who get married for money will have like a boyfriend that they'll live with, and they'll do like weird sneaky shit because, like, as the person who's paying all the money, especially if you're like a wealthy dude, You know, you're paying. It's not like half. It's usually like a third of what you fucking make if you're super wealthy.
Right.
But you're paying like 33% of what you fucking earned, and you've been divorced for 5 years, and she's living with this other fucking dude that you're paying for. You know, you're going to send over a detective because if you can prove she's living with somebody for any period of time, you can
Right. Yeah, you hire a private investigator to follow him around. Yeah. Apparently, yeah, I think Hulk Hogan's ex-wife was doing that shit, and she'd like move him out for a period of time. Yeah.
The investigator will find out the dude's there. The court will send out like a fucking investigator, and the guy will move out for like a week.
Yeah.
And they'll just rinse and repeat every 6-7 months. This shit keeps going on. And all she's gonna do is just stick your stuff in a U-Haul and drive it away for like 2 or 3 days while he stays at a buddy's couch or some shit.
Yeah, that alimony shit is pretty fucking ridiculous, dude. I can understand it.
Should never be for more than 4 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can understand having it to give them a chance to do, get their shit together. But yeah, it should not be fucking nonstop forever, dude. That's ridiculous, man.
And it should be based on what you can afford.
Right.
Based on what you make and what you can actually afford. Like, it should never put the guy out of like his own house.
Yeah.
Because
that Dave Foley story.
She's a grown up.
Yeah.
She's a grown up too, and it's not like she's some little kid that needs to be taken care of.
Yeah,
she can fucking go and get her job like a big girl. And if divorcing you means that she ends up in a shitty job in a shitty apartment, then that's what happens.
Yeah, that I'm accustomed to this and I'm accustomed to that is bullshit, dude. That's a bullshit fucking reason, dude.
Yeah, we're all grown-ups. People break up, and you shouldn't have to fucking pay for the rest of your life because you broke up with somebody. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I guess I'm kind of fortunate that I didn't have to deal with any of that shit because I honestly cannot say for sure that I would not have killed the bitch if I had to go through that kind of shit, dude.
And I wouldn't blame you.
Seriously, I'd rather be in prison and have her dead than deal with this shit. I could actually see myself doing that, dude.
I worked with a dude that killed himself over this shit.
See, that's fucking
dude killed himself over child support, and like he couldn't get enough time seeing his kid, and he had to pay all this spousal support while she was shacking up with her fucking boyfriend, who she was never gonna marry because she was getting all this money from him. But he's just a fucking mechanic at a Sears auto shop that's barely making anything compared to what she's taken for the kid and for her and her boyfriend to fucking live off of.
Yeah. No, in mine, I might kill myself, but I'd definitely kill the bitch first.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
I'd fucking move to another country.
Yeah.
I'd learn to speak Spanish. I'd be fucking Mexican. Are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
Mexico's not going to take your fucking money and give it to some bitch in the U.S. They're gonna take your tax money and you're gonna have to bribe the cops, but it ain't gonna go to her. I mean, I'm all about taking care of the kid, but I'm not taking care of her.
Yeah, no, that's like I said, that's ridiculous. And again, I can understand it for a little bit. If someone has been a housewife for,
that's why I said never more than 4 years. 4 years is enough time to get like certificate or a degree or something.
Yeah, find some kind of fucking line of work, dude. Yeah,
but I wouldn't want it in return either, though. I wouldn't want if I'm married to some chick, I wouldn't want her to have to pay for me for the rest of my life just because she makes a ton of money.
Yeah, although it is funny when you hear about that happening to women, dude. I fucking think it's hilarious because it's so fucking rare. Yeah, well, no,
that's gonna happen more and more.
Yeah, that's true. We got lesbians breaking up, dude. Yeah, because dude, you got a woman on both sides, and they're both fucking nuts. So much fucking craziness is gonna start happening, dude.
A lot of domestic violence happens in gay couples.
Yeah, well, lesbians. You're talking about lesbians, dude. Yeah, lesbian couples. It's so much higher prevalence of domestic violence. Yeah, which I mean, it makes sense. Because, I mean, dude, I can't tell you, like, again, I never actually hit my ex, but there were fucking plenty of times when it took all the fucking restraint I could muster to not fucking knock the bitch out.
Well, and
with the shit she was pulling. So you got two women that are fucking both crazy and know how to get under each other's skin, and you remove that taboo of hitting a woman because it's a woman hitting a woman.
And women
makes
are not
sense,
taught
dude.
not to hit.
Right.
Not in the same way that men are taught. Women are not taught not to hit the way men are taught not to hit. Big
Right.
too.
Yeah.
They're trying to tell me to slap somebody who's pissing you off.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, dude.
You know,
Yeah.
you go up
No, it
and
does not.
to a girl, she gets to hit you, and that's everybody's okay with that shit.
Yeah, that needs to stop too. That's some fucking bullshit, dude. Like, yeah, and it kind of is. Like, you're seeing more and more of women attacking and then getting the fucking knocked the fuck out.
Yep.
You know, that taboo is breaking down. So, congratulations on that, leftists. You're finally getting equality.
See the chick that got hauled out of the Miami game?
No.
Some sort of sporting event in Miami, and the cops basically had to bodily carry her out because she wouldn't fucking go, and her boyfriend was trying to hold her there, and clearly just drunk out of her goddamn mind. And she just starts slapping the cop, one of them. It gets him like on the second time she really connects, and he just fucking unloads a right hook on her.
Nice.
Open-handed though, but fucking knocks her ass out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. They want to fucking act like dudes. They're gonna get fucking treated like dudes. That's equality.
I can't find that because that shit was funny. I retweeted that shit.
Yeah. No, I remember there was one. This was from a few years ago. I know because I know Patrice O'Neill was talking about it. So it was when he was still alive. But it was like in Seattle somewhere, and like this cop it was him by himself. He had no backup there, and he was trying to arrest this one black chick, and this other black chick kept fucking coming up and fucking with him, and he finally turned around and just fucking cocked her, dude. You know, because like, and I could imagine him being in that situation. Like, holy shit, like, I'm here by myself. And he wasn't a particularly big guy. He was struggling to get the cuffs on the one chick. And the other chick was kind of big, dude. So he was just like, fuck this. You know?
You gotta keep yourself safe or you can't help anybody.
Right. All right, what do we got?
So you see she's getting hauled out bodily. The boyfriend's trying to hold on to her. She's trying to hold on to him. Oh.
All right,
just look at how she gets, like, she's the first one she doesn't really connect. The second one she really connects on the backhand. Old coxer. And look at this dude's face. He knows. He's like, oh.
Yeah, like that sobered her right up. That knocked the drunk right out of her. You do it before and after on the blood alcohol content. You go right down to 0 right after that fucking shot, dude.
And I knocked the drunk out of her. She's gonna wake up with a bad headache and no idea how the fuck it happened.
Yeah. Oh man.
But you don't hit cops, man. That ain't gonna work out. Never does.
Yeah, that's insane, dude. I do not have the fucking balls to even fucking think about that. I've never been that drunk to fucking take a swing at a cop, dude. And these fucking women, yeah, they got tasers, they got guns, and fucking all kinds of shit to fuck you up. Batons. Yeah, why the... Beyond the fact that that's a really serious fucking charge.
Mm-hmm.
If you try to assault
her, it's not something that you get off with.
Yeah, that is not a misdemeanor, dude.
Oh, William Cinch ever racist bitch. Yeah, because she hit a black dude. Oh man, but yeah, no, that dude fucked her up, and it looked like it was open-handed. Like I watched it a bunch of times, and it doesn't look like he actually just slapped her open-handed.
Yeah. Well, that's fair. She slapped him, he slapped her back.
Well, and the other
equality, ladies.
They're in a crowded area. Like, there's a bunch of comments on there, like, why didn't they just cuff her and blah blah blah. Look, they're in a crowded area. They don't know if somebody else is gonna just think it's, you know, their time to be the drunken hero of the day and save the girl.
Right.
They got to get her out of there as quick as they can. And if she's slapping them and shit, they're not being able to pay attention to the rest of the crowd and make sure everything goes right.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have time to fuck around. It's a really dangerous situation that they're in. There are a lot of dudes who will think, almost saved a girl.
Yeah, automatically. You know, even if they saw the situation and realized she was being a bitch, even then, guys will still fucking do the white knighty bullshit, dude. Yeah. Especially drunk motherfuckers.
Exactly, especially when they're drinking.
Yeah.
Like, they don't all respond to, like, that one dude who was just like, oh, damn.
That guy was just buzzing. He wasn't totally drunk. He was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. That was, so good, man. That dude's face needs to become a meme. Somebody needs to make that dude into a meme. Just like, oh shit.
Shit just got real. Little air
Yeah,
bubble.
shit just got real. Yeah, exactly.
Shit just got
Shit just
real.
got real, man.
That is the prototypical shit just got real face.
But you know, like that Twitter cop videos is really a fairly good Twitter to follow.
Nah, I'll have to check it out.
All right, here we go. Here's a good one. We can piss off Mike with this one.
Is there Muslims involved?
Yep.
Nice.
Egyptian cleric says men can marry their own daughters if they are born out of wedlock.
What the fuck?
So yep, if you have illegitimate daughters and they're not officially attributed to their fathers, they can be married to them.
Wow. So if you knock up some chick, some side chick, you can marry her fucking daughter.
You can marry your own daughter. Yep, apparently in Islam, that's cool.
That is amazing, dude.
And he is a university teacher in fucking Egypt.
Yeah. And so this isn't just some fucking. How do they?
So
how do they say the shit out loud?
His name. She doesn't have her father's name. She is not his daughter, according to Sharia.
Oh, Jesus, dude. All right. Is he just saying this as a technicality, or is he encouraging people to fucking do this shit?
I like some of the comments because this is a video from 2012 that just recently resurfaced. Many expressed their revulsion about his claims, with one man tweeting, "What is this madness?" and a woman simply saying, "Ew."
That's fucking amazing, dude. How can there not be a law against?
Earlier this year, another Egyptian cleric, Mufti Mohammed Maruf, said in televised debate, the age for marrying should be low enough for newborn babies to be married off.
Jesus.
He said as long as there's no harm done into the child, there's no problem preventing her from getting married. In Islamic Sharia, there is no set age for marriage when it comes to females.
Well, yeah, Muhammad married a fucking. How old was the one that Muhammad married? 6,
like
9?
9-year-old, I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. But he didn't have sex with her until she was 12 or something.
Oh, I'm sure he waited.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's even. He's still fucking a 12-year-old. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even if he did actually wait, that's fucking horrible, dude.
Yep, exactly. It's so creepy because she has no say in it.
Yeah.
So when she turns 18, if that's how long you wait to fuck her, is she going to be like, oh yeah, I'm totally in love with this dude? Or is she going to be like, who's this gross fucking old man?
Yeah.
Who keeps talking about putting this dick in me?
Right. Yeah, because I do not consent to that shit. Yeah. It is a feminist religion, though. It's absolutely a feminist religion.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So here's an interesting thing that I saw that I don't think anybody has said anything. Woody Allen style, says William Stinchever. Yeah, exactly.
Damn, dude.
So here's the thing. They don't vet people. Apparently, one of the things that they don't actually vet people on is diseases.
Wow.
So that's one of the things they're talking about with the refugees. Since 2005, they've been trying to get that into the news, and it's still not. It's just not even being talked about. But like she's saying, there's 20 diseases. I don't know if she outlines them in this article. I don't think she outlines all of them. But even something as simple as like measles or hepatitis or tuberculosis could do a lot of damage. They got dengue fever. There's a lot of shit that can fucking. It won't even be like the same version as it is here, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, maybe something that we have no antibodies at all for, essentially.
Or our antibiotics won't be as effective with.
Right.
So
yeah,
I
that's
think
insane.
Tuberculosis, especially, is much higher percentage than they're being told.
Right. Yeah.
Like things like dengue fever just don't really exist in the U.S.
Right.
So if they start bringing it in, people are just going to start dying.
Yeah, I have no immunity to all that shit, dude.
We don't. Well, I mean, our hospitals don't really have the medications. So, like, part of the danger is you get dengue fever, you go to the hospital, and then maybe. And I don't know if it's specific, like dengue fever is like true, but I'm sure some of the diseases this is true. That you wouldn't necessarily have the medication on hand. It might have to be ordered from somewhere and shipped for like, it might take weeks.
Right. Yeah, I'm amazed that that's not part of the entry process, dude.
Yeah.
That's fucking shocking, dude.
Yeah,
that you can't check for malaria or fucking shit like that, dude. Wow.
It's a big deal, actually. I think a lot of people aren't really paying attention to that one. But that is definitely one that I saw. I was like, that actually is a little fucking scary.
Yeah, that is disheartening for sure.
Well, it's one of my things I'm concerned with Trump talking about bringing people over in with extreme vetting. I don't want any refugees.
Right.
Like, I just don't want any over here. I don't want any of them. I don't care who they're, women or children. They'll be able to bring in their husbands and brothers and uncles and grandparents, all this shit after they've moved here.
Yeah.
I don't want any refugees because they're not going to go back when there's peace. And they're not refugees once they leave the first contiguous country that's not at war.
Right.
After that,
then they're just migrants. Yeah.
And dude, the amount of money they're going to give them. I mean, you're looking at 100, 200 grand over the course of like them becoming citizens that they're getting.
Yeah, that's amazing
college,
too.
They're getting the schooling for language. They're getting like free money. They're going to given jobs. So U.S., good hardworking U.S. citizens are going to be refused jobs because these people are going to be getting them ahead of them, whether they're qualified or not. Yeah,
that's the other thing is this forced diversity shit. We need to get them from this place. It doesn't matter if they have any education, if they're able to get a decent job. None of that fucking matters. We've got to have people. We have to have a certain amount of people
that would love those jobs. It's not, I feel like I'm just talking about white people. I mean, there's black people and Asians and Mexicans and all sorts of people who live here right now.
Yeah,
would love to take that job.
Yeah, exactly.
We got enough unemployed as it is. We don't need, this nonsense where we're bringing in refugees to fucking fill up a factory for somebody.
Yeah. Although, that's not gonna. They're not gonna just stop immigration, dude. Which they really should. You're right. I wouldn't mind seeing, but it's not gonna happen.
Stop it, but I think they should cut it down to like $100 grand a year at most. Like right now, it's something like $1 million. The amount of people we let in is ridiculous every year. We need to cut it down to like 10 grand a year at most, which is
it should almost be it should almost be limited to the fucking genius exception thing, the H1. I forget what it's called, but there's like a special thing for like if you're a genius, you don't have to go through any of that shit. You're just in.
There should be a point system.
It should definitely be a marriage. That's absolutely
based on that. Yeah, there should definitely be a point system involved if you want to become an immigrant here, like there is in almost every other country. And that would make a big difference right there. And then there's a lot of cases where like it would be incredibly expensive and incredibly like dangerous, not only for them but for our own people, to try and root out all of the illegal immigrants that are here and send them all back over like a year or something like that.
Right.
But if we just started deporting people and tightened our borders so they couldn't get back in, in 20 years, it'll be a huge difference, and it'll be much closer to like, it'll be much lower number. It won't be like 20 or 50 million that it is now, which it should never have gotten to.
Yeah, well, anybody that gets arrested for anything that's not a legal citizen should definitely be deported, dude.
In California, they'll actively let them go before INS can get there.
That's fucking amazing, dude.
The ICE will be, they won't even tell ICE half the time. I mean, it's ridiculous. And it's the same in Arizona, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah, no, I don't doubt it, dude. The fucking, especially the sheriff of Maricopa County, dude. That guy's a fucking jackass, dude.
Well, it's like the sheriff Arpaio in Arizona, if I'm not mistaken, or was that New Mexico?
Yeah, no, Arpaio got voted out, dude.
Yeah, but you guys had that guy for a while. Yeah. He was hardcore, actually doing
something. Dude. Long fucking time, dude.
Actually enforcing the law, and the people were pissed at him. And it's like,
no, he got railroaded right before that election, and
they made up. Those are false charges because the The interesting thing about that is the judge has no say whatsoever in what laws he does or does not enforce.
Yeah, dude.
He enforces all the laws. That's not up to the judge.
That's the other thing that's a major problem nowadays is that judges way overstepping their authority.
Yeah.
Interpreting, not even interpreting, just making up their own decisions.
Should have had the authority to put him in jail or put him up on charges.
Yeah.
For enforcing the law. That's not the judge's purview. It's not up to him. It's up to the governor. Or in this case, it's actually up to the people who elected him. But
yeah, no, it's ridiculous, man. Yeah, did you ever watch? Rachel Holland did a really good video on the Arpaio thing because he lives here.
And they denied him a freaking trial with a jury.
Yeah,
because his peers would have been like, nope, he's out.
Yeah,
he's the sheriff. He gets to enforce the law. That's his job.
Yeah, and the sheriff that replaced him refers to the people that come here illegally as our guests.
He should be shot.
Yeah, it's fucking horrific.
The fucking street, tar and feather him, and then shoot him in the head.
Yeah, no, it's fucking horrific, dude.
Sick of that shit. I don't want illegal people here. I don't want people breaking our law just coming here.
Yeah.
When there's a system to get in.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're worthy, I'm sorry you weren't lucky enough to be born here, but that's kind of the way it is, man.
Where did this fucking lie get started that they're not, the majority of them are not criminals? Like, even if you discount the illegal entry, like, the majority of them are criminals. Like petty and major crimes most of the time.
Yeah, and I will tell you, man, there are plenty of most Mexicans that have come here legally or that are citizens hate these illegal motherfuckers, dude.
Well, because they're the trash of their own country. That's why they couldn't get legally.
Yeah, that's the thing. They actually, I think, I'm pretty sure they, going out on a limb here a little bit, but I'm pretty sure they hate them a lot more than any fucking white people do, dude, or any other people.
Because they get a lot of shit because these trashy motherfuckers that break the law and come over here and rape people and steal shit and get drunk and fuck everything up for everybody.
Yeah, they're the reason why we're the highest percentage of uninsured drivers. Yeah. It's, Arizona and California are like two of the highest percentage of uninsured drivers.
Oh yeah, I'm not at all surprised.
Yeah.
It's really not uncommon here, even where I'm in Northern California, to get in an accident and have some Mexican dude just run away.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
Yeah. I was lucky because I actually got hit by a guy. Well, no, he had lived here like 10 years and still didn't speak English, by the way. But at least that motherfucker had insurance, dude. Fucking fixed my car. I got lucky there. But even the cop, because, I understand a little bit of Spanish, but the cop was like, how long have you lived here? Like, 10 years. He's like, you've lived here 10 years and you don't speak English?
He might speak English. He might just be lying.
No, it happens a lot. I don't know about where you're at, but it's very common here for them to just never bother to learn English, dude.
One of the things I've seen when I watch cops a lot, is Mexican dudes pretending they don't speak English.
Right. But no, it's legit here, dude.
Suddenly they don't speak English.
Yeah, it's legit here that a lot of them don't have to.
No, I'm sure some of them don't. I'm sure some of them don't learn it. I'm not at all doubting that. I'm just saying there's also a fair amount of people who, when they're dealing with the cops, will pretend they don't speak English.
Yeah.
As well.
No, I can understand. Yeah, I get that, dude. But yeah, no.
So you're dealing with like a double whammy. Like they might never have learned it. Might just be lying.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, this is true, but
crazy.
No, I've known plenty of them, dude. Just like, how do you do that, dude? That's like if I'm. Go ahead.
I was gonna say my other problem with the refugees is they bring them and put them all in the same place.
Yeah, so they can
to assimilate to the culture.
Yeah.
Whereas if you spread them out so that they didn't all go to one city in one fucking area, they'd have to assimilate to the culture. They'd have to learn English to get by. They'd have to be.
Yeah, they'd have to integrate to some extent, dude. You know, they can't set up fucking Sharia fucking no-go zones like they have in fucking Europe and shit.
Oh, I'll tell you what, man. If that shit starts happening in my cities, I will organize armed men to take them out. Like,
yeah, that's the thing, is it wouldn't really happen here. The other Americans wouldn't let it, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking, we're not, you know, British, I don't know if it's just the guilt of all the shit they did back in over the centuries, dude, but
it wouldn't be like the white Klansmen anymore. It would literally be like Mexican.
It'd be everybody, dude.
White. People all putting on those white sheets and cleaning out the areas.
Right. Yeah, exactly. All right. Yeah, people of all races putting on the robes.
KKK would suddenly be like the Boy Scouts.
Damn.
Sorry. Well, I'm just saying, man, that shit would not fly, especially in the Midwest, man. That is start raping women. It's on.
Yeah. Yeah, I find that.
Trucks full of good old boys from every other race. They ain't gonna just be white people doing it. You know, all the good old boys from every group going.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not Canada. Yeah. Canada seems to be okay with that shit too. You know, it really seems like a vast majority of the fucking people on this planet have lost their fucking minds, dude.
I just saw a speech from a dude from Denmark who was like, "Look, you guys are out of your minds. These people are invading our countries. They're raping our women. They're stealing our things. We're giving them all our money. We're discriminating against our own people and making our own people do all this hard work just to give them free things."
Yeah,
they don't have any gratitude. They're you know, they're rude and belligerent. And he was just it was all true, and I was like, oh damn,
somebody has the balls there. Yeah, it's at least 10 years too late, but yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe at least somebody's talking about it and being honest about what's going on over there. Holy crap.
Yeah. No, it is kind of encouraging, then. But it never should have gotten to that point, dude. How the fuck do you have a fucking neighborhood that the cops aren't going into and that you're allowing to have a different set of fucking law?
Yeah. Well, I mean, literally, they have Sharia officers going around and shit. It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, and if a fucking regular British citizen wanders in there, they fucking run them off, dude. Yeah. Have you seen that? Oh, yeah, no, you need to get out of here.
I've seen that on multiple occasions. And what gets me is like, how do you not at that point be like, all right, I need to get my buddies together. We need to figure out how to get our hands on some guns, and we need to come back and clean this neighborhood out.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
and it needs to be done like kind of, you'd have to have at least tacit approval. And that's the problem, because you know, from the authorities.
In the U.S., you wouldn't, because if you
here no problem.
Guns, the police are going to be like, maybe we should just wait.
Right.
It's like popcorn. It's like popcorn.
Yeah, we're all going to conveniently not be in that area at that time, dude.
Nah, it's like letting popcorn finish. They're just going to wait until the popping sound is over, and then just a little bit longer, just to make sure that it's fully done.
Right. When people got out of the area, and then they'll be like, "Hey, what happened here?
This is awful."
Right.
If they aren't in on it.
Yeah, exactly. If they're not actively participating in it. But yeah, I can't imagine that happening here, dude.
William says you're asking
maybe
a question, but not coming up with the right answer. So I'm curious, what is the right answer, William? Is it just a bunch of pussies over in Europe? Because I think that might be the case.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the white guilt, and they're kind of sissies, dude. I think especially British people, because again, you look through the history of Britain, and they've, you know, committed some atrocities over the centuries, dude.
Oh,
and I think they somehow feels guilty about it.
William says it's all a planned thing. I honestly do think it is. I agree with you on that, William. I think it's a thing.
The globalists, yeah, that's the thing with Alex Jones and the globalists, is he's not out of line on that shit. They really do want.
They're bringing them in to lower the standard of living, raise the amount of competition for jobs so that people are willing to work for less. They're built-in voters for like a party that's just destroying the countries. So they can oust the politicians that actually might do something in a positive light. It's an invasion in a way.
Dude, I kind of think that those people in power would actually prefer that Islam did take everything over, because it's a much better form of control.
They can have 4 or 5 wives, man.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll be like, fuck that. It's not going to affect me and my family. So, yeah, it'll be easier to control all the fucking peasants, dude.
You notice they all live in gated communities with armed guards.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
none of their fucking wives or children are going to get raped.
Yeah, I just don't think they realize that the Muslims see it as a way to invade and take over.
Right.
They're not going to be in charge once it's too late.
Yeah.
They just think they're.
No, they're yeah. Yeah. They're thinking it can't happen to them, or they can't be touched by it, dude. They think
when it gets to a certain point, they're going to be taken out too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's insane, man.
Yeah.
Eesh.
And if it starts happening here, it's like I'm not an irrational person, but damn it, I might join a militia.
Right.
I want to be with the people with the guns when the shooting starts, because we're going to be the ones taking them out, not getting shot.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I would almost want to join one myself, but I don't want to be linked to that. I really think it should almost be like a flash mob thing. Like, there shouldn't be any official militia. Because again, I feel like the government would fucking start fucking with you. You know what I mean? So it almost like operate the way a flash mob does, where you're just ready to come together, but you're not officially part of anything.
I think if it got to the point where the militia felt that they could actually go into town and clean out neighborhoods like that, it would be so far beyond the government's ability to stop at that point, because there'd be so many people willing to fight back.
Yeah, that's true. Or cover up for, I
don't think the government would last much longer than the groups.
Right.
Taken out at that point. I think the government will be pretty much. They'd be counting their days.
Yeah, I can't see a totalitarian system actually working here if people were fighting back against it. It's too vast a territory. It would be too much, way too much resources involved in trying to fucking quell all of it.
Well, and how many of the soldiers would just be like, yeah, I'm on their side.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Like, you might not get the generals, but you're going to get a lot of the foot soldiers who are going to be like, yeah, I'm on their side.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly think a lot of the generals would be apt to just have a whole fucking coup happen at that point.
Well, yeah, but they might want to take power. That's true. That could be a danger.
Yeah, but I mean, coup, the coup, but not necessarily to take over, but to fucking clean house, dude.
It's
it's gotten so bad.
It would for me, it would matter is if they did it with the convocation of the governors kind of thing, where essentially the generals meet with as many of the governors from as many of the states as they can and say, look, we need to. This is not working.
Right.
We need to clear.
Yeah, it's too corrupt now. Yeah, everybody's bought and paid for, and it's pretty much there already, man. It really is. Well,
I don't think.
Like I said, that's why I'm fucking shocked, and I will be shocked if Trump gets elected again and he doesn't get fucking taken out, dude.
I think they realize at this point, with the temper and the ferocity and the anger, that might be the worst possible thing they could do.
Yeah, maybe, but
that might end up with not having government the next day. There's a very good chance.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking of how many fucking people Kennedy pissed off and why he was killed.
It's not even close to the same thing.
Yeah, this is true.
And there wasn't anywhere near the lack of trust in government at that point.
Yeah.
There was still the majority of people still trusted the government and still thought that they were being honest.
Yeah, nowadays, again, with how bad the media is mistrusted and fucking government's mistrusted.
Well, all the things that the media keeps reporting of the lack of confidence in the media, I still think they're oversampling areas that are not going to hate them. I think the real percentages of people that actually like them are much lower than they're reporting.
Like less than the 18% even.
I think. Yeah, and I think
I think it's just really old people. I don't think there's anybody under the age of 50, dude.
I think the approval rating of Trump is actually substantially higher than they're reporting.
Yeah. It must kill them to have to report that it's going up, dude. you know.
And it's going to continue to rise as he continues to improve the economy. Like, he's bringing jobs back to the country.
Yeah, and they're going to continue to badmouth him as things continue to get better, and it's just going to fucking continue to erode what little tiny credibility they have left.
Yeah, my concern is that Trump will end up turning out deep state at the end of it all. Like, I'm worried that he's going to go get a second term, and in the second term, he's just going to fucking go, Obama, Bush Jr., Clinton style on it and just fuck everyone over.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think for his own glory, I don't think he'll do it, dude. I really don't. I think he would. I think he'd be more likely to expose that shit than he would be to join it.
Yeah, I don't think. If he gets the second, can't remember
term.
Second term. I think shit's gonna get weird if he gets a second term, one way or another.
Yeah, no, I think he'll go all out, and I think there's a really strong possibility that he will be assassinated, dude.
Oh, I think that would be the worst thing they could do.
No, I know. That still doesn't. I still think they're that arrogant, though. All the shit you laid out. I don't think it fucking. I still think they're too arrogant to not do it. They're too threatened by it.
The amount of fervent Trump fans. Actually, at that point, I think Pence would be a shoo-in. I wouldn't be at all surprised if Trump gets a second term and then Pence gets the next one and the one after.
Yeah,
as
bad as the fucking Democrats seem to be, as determined as they seem to be to destroy themselves, whoever the Republicans put up is probably going to fucking win. I'm fucking really curious to see what happens next year at the midterm elections, dude.
I mean, did you see the Gillespie ad for the governor of Virginia?
Oh, the one where the kids were getting chased down by...
I mean, that's fucking... Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to be out of your fucking mind to think that that's going to go over with anybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. They've lost their fucking minds. Or they maybe they only want one party now. I don't understand what the fuck they're doing. Dude.
Well, it's like there's probably some extreme left-wing people who are like, oh, yeah, that's perfectly reasonable. But I guarantee you, 80% of the population was just like, what the fuck is that shit? On both sides.
Yeah, there cannot be that many fucking batshit crazy leftists to agree with that shit. It's got to be a tiny percentage. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's totally fine.
That shit wouldn't fly in California.
Wow.
I don't think you could get that through in California, much less in Virginia. And Virginia's a pretty left-wing area in some areas.
Right.
I don't think you get that shit by in California. I think in California that should get yanked.
Yeah, that's amazing, dude.
Like, you know what? This is completely out of line. We're taking it off.
Yeah.
We're not going to show it. Take it off.
It's fucking insane, dude.
I can't believe they showed that on TV.
Yeah.
I can't believe
it really was shocking, dude.
We're going to put it on.
I just remember hearing it described. The first time I was playing the game, I wasn't watching it. I was just hearing the guy describe it, and I'm like, dude, there's no way. And then I watched it, and I was like, holy fuck, dude. These people have literally lost their minds.
They can't point to anything Trump has done that's racist or against gay people or sexist.
Yeah.
They can't point to any of his policies or anything he's done since he's been in office that's even remotely.
They're just calling him names, dude. They call him names because they don't like him. He's the enemy.
He's gotten awards for raising money for black youth and to get education, colleges and stuff like that. He's won multiple awards for his contributions to minorities.
Yeah.
His charity.
No, it's ridiculous, dude. But again, you get people to fucking believe it just because some higher up said it was. Yeah, he's racist. Okay, he's racist. Gotcha.
Well,
we don't need any evidence.
I was wondering, do they think it's just a show? He raised millions of dollars for black youth to go to college, just as a cover,
right? Well, I could see that happening, but yeah, I don't think that's what he was. He did that just because he's like, I'm going to run for president someday, so I got to cover my ass. Yeah, I don't see that being.
I think he wanted an award, and he's willing to pay a few $1,000,000 to get that award to look real good.
Yeah, again, it's his own glory or whatever. But you know, like I said, I think he wants to. I don't think he really cares about people fearing him the way fucking Hillary does, and you know, other maniacs like the fucking Bushes and all that.
I think he would much rather be underestimated.
Yeah,
I think he thrives on people underestimating him.
Yeah, well, dude, he took it all the way to being a fucking president, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody counted him out. I fucking counted him out. I didn't think he had a fucking chance in hell, dude.
Oh, yeah, no. When I was watching the footage, I was just like, I had this sick feeling in my stomach because it was going to be Hillary. And I'm like, she's going to fucking start World War III.
Yeah.
This crazy bitch wants to start a war with Russia, of all people.
Yeah, I was really amazed, dude. I was like, holy shit, this motherfucker pulled it off, dude.
I could barely sleep that night. I was so giddy.
Oh, when he won?
He won, yep.
I was amazed, dude. I drank the Kool-Aid too of, you know, he has no shot. You know, well, no, that's not true. I thought there was a little bit of shot, but yeah, I was still amazed, and I was and it wasn't even happy that Trump got elected. It was just ecstatic. I was just ecstatic that Hillary wasn't going to be president, dude.
Okay, you're right. That's a little more accurate, to be honest.
Yeah, I wasn't pro-Trump. I was just super anti-Hillary, dude. And honestly, it was the reaction of the left that has really pushed me into being like rooting for the guy, dude. I mean, obviously, whoever's president, I want him to do a good job, dude. I don't care what they're fucking.
Pro Bernie. Like, I thought Bernie's stuff was insane. Like, I didn't think it would work, but I just figured he wouldn't be able to get any of that through because it's just corporate interests are never going to allow free college and fucking, you know, all these minimum wage.
It was pipe dream bullshit. Yeah, he would be as effective as your toaster, dude. Going back to your toaster video.
He would get in office and not really be able to do much of anything, and I'm like, I want Bernie Sanders for president because the other two are so extreme.
Yeah. The stuff Hillary was saying was going to start fucking World War III, dude. You know?
Yeah, and Trump, I just thought there's so much hate that, you know, if he gets in office, he'll never really get anything done. But he's actually getting shit done. Yeah.
See, almost everybody underestimated him, but dude, he is a pretty successful businessman.
Hey, I voted for him.
Right. Yeah. Well, in your state, it didn't count for shit because all the illegals voted for him.
And I voted for Sanders in the primaries, though, because I was still registered Democrat. I'm not anymore. I was then.
Yeah. No, I did. I wanted to see Trump and Bernie go at it. Well, again, to get Hillary the fuck out of there, but also just for the entertainment, dude. I was like, God damn, dude, Trump and Sanders going at it would be fucking hilarious, dude.
Well, because what is Trump?
So entertaining.
Trump just isn't going to be able to go after Sanders the same way he went after all his opponents in the Republican primaries.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, because Bernie he has some fucking wacky ideas, but he's not really dirty the way everyone else was, dude.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Everybody else had those skeletons in their closet. But then I guess it turns out Bernie did too. I mean, that motherfucker, his wife is getting put up on charges by the FBI, was indicted. Like fraud charges, and they're fucking. There's a lot of shit that they maybe didn't pay taxes, and
yeah. And it turns out even Bernie was nowhere near as clean as everyone would have thought, dude.
Got like 4 or 5 fucking houses, $1 million mansions and shit.
Yeah, he seemed to get an influx of money like right after that. And that's the other thing that I think Styx laid it out, saying like, dude, he was never going to get it, and he pretty much knew it. But they needed to put someone up that was technically a viable candidate against Hillary in the primaries. That's the only reason he was there. You know?
Yeah.
But he was never going to fucking win it. Well, obviously, you've heard the shit from Donna Brazile now. You know, Hillary bailed out the fucking...
He had a lot of support. I think he might have, but I think he was paid to tank.
All right. Yeah, well, it was set up against him anyway. Like, it was already rigged against him, dude. Yeah. I mean, like I said, if Donna Brazile is to be believed, and I don't know why the fuck she would lie at this point, you know, it was already set up before it ever started. They just needed somebody to act as a foil and pretend that there was some kind of choice, dude.
Yeah. Well, and that's the part that really needs to stop, because you don't have to rig an election if you can rig the candidates.
Yeah.
Like the candidates
Yeah.
who,
Yeah.
which people, the corporate interests and the globalists have already chosen.
Yeah. That's the thing is
which one wins. It's all the fucking dog and pony show.
Yeah, this is the bullshit of having the DNC be this private fucking business or whatever.
Yeah.
You can't consider it a private business if it decides who's running for one of the two parties in a two-party system.
Yeah.
You can't consider it that way. There's got to be fucking laws to stop that shit.
Well, even if they're a private business, they're still guilty of fraud, and it should still be jail time for the people at the top.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I would really love to see somebody relatively high up. I'm not even asking for Hillary or fucking any of these people at this point, but somebody pretty high up needs to fucking go down, dude.
Well, it's pretty apparent that we're in a banana republic at this point in the respect of our legal system, because they're not going after any of the people who committed these incredibly blatant felonies. Like these are serious crimes. These are not fucking misdemeanors. It's not jaywalking.
Yeah.
It's not even like they got caught with, one too many fucking drinks on the way home from a party. This is legit, serious jail time, 10, 20 years in prison felonies.
Yeah. Well, think about, like you had mentioned the Enron shit earlier, dude. Those motherfuckers should have gone to jail, and it shouldn't have been shocking that anybody went after them, dude. And I remember how fucking shocked anybody was that Anywhere tried to go after those guys. They're like, "Oh, look, they're actually trying to take the Oklahoma, or who I think it was Oklahoma. One of the states was like actually trying to prosecute them, and people were shocked that happened, and that shouldn't have been the case.
Yeah,
they should have been shocked that they didn't go after them.
They should have been shocked that it was Oklahoma that did it and not the federal government.
Yeah, exactly.
There were people going after.
But that's everybody. That's the fucking the average person, the fucking media. Everybody was shocked that somebody actually tried to go after Enron for the fucking ridiculous shit they pulled, dude.
Yeah.
Like the blatantly illegal shit they pulled, dude.
Yeah, I mean, they literally stole their employees' retirement funds.
Yeah, yeah.
In some of the worst fraud ever.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, didn't they eventually end up taking the rich people at the top's money and giving it to the retirees or something like that? Like it eventually came out like a civil suit or something like that?
Honestly, I don't remember. I'm sorry to say, but I don't remember, dude.
Yeah, I think a few people went to jail, but it took like some civil suits to actually get the money from the people who stole it all.
Yeah, no, that's fucking awesome if that's what happened. That's horrible that they were able to fucking cash out in time, and then all these average, everyday people have no fucking retirement now because it fucking tanked like that. Yeah,
because they deliberately tanked the company to make money, essentially.
Yeah. It was some really squirrely shit they pulled about this fucking future earnings shit, or this. It's really weird.
It's like Obama put a presidential act or something in place that it essentially enabled banks to prevent tort cases.
Yeah.
So like these banks can rip people off, and they can't file.
They have no recourse.
Which is the only effective recourse against a company that large is when you have 10,000 people suing them for the same crime.
Yeah. No, it's like I said, Obama, part of the fucking
global elite,
part of the bullshit. Yeah.
Part of the lies.
Yeah.
Ugh. All right. I think we're starting to retread old paths. We should probably call it a night.
Yeah. Plus, it's 3 a.m. where I'm at, dude.
Yeah, that was the other thing I was thinking.
All right, but yeah, this is good, man. Good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. James Jones, William Stenchever, and for Engelhard.
Made it all the way through, man. Yeah, good job.
You sound like you're going to give a fucking cold star.
Well, no, we usually, end up ignoring them long enough where they're like, fuck you guys. So I think we all did all around good show.
Yay, we didn't suck as bad. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. Dave Quaqua, I'm Skittles McSavvypants, and Engelhard was here originally, I swear. Peace out.
Bye-bye.